Today will be a good day. Let me share this. Malibu. They keep talking about people getting caught for murder. Is there anything big right now in the news when it comes to a murderer at large? I don't know why they keep talking about that. I had a real weird dream too. Real weird. Oh, it's snowing again. It's great. We've heard about Lebanon. Maybe just the name, but we know it exists. Ask a question and I'll answer it. I'm not doing no general. Where is your relationship heading with Imad? Both of y'all being protective of yourselves. Seems like both of y'all are used to a real individualistic way, not used to relationships. At least, you know, I could see the traditional relationship being a factor here. Like, neither of y'all have been in like a traditional relationship. Or at least he hasn't. I see a lot of fear here. Okay, so someone's got a temper as well. I'm gonna say if Imad's not in a relationship, then he definitely is sexual relations with somebody else. As far as where y'all shit is heading, I mean, I'd say I don't see anything long term, particularly because this person has an issue, has a problem with staying loyal and with honesty. I think sexually this is a connection that, you know, neither of y'all will forget, but at the same time I think that this person has sex with a plenty of people, not just you. Seem quite one of y'all is extremely extroverted while the other one's kind of quieter. And I think that y'all think you can somehow balance that out, or y'all balance each other out in some type of way, but I will be honest with you, it doesn't look like the communication is going to be very forthcoming with this individual. So yeah, this person got you in a love triangle or is with somebody else. Is this person going through a divorce or something like that? Or has one of y'all been in a marriage or just a long-term commitment before? Because like I said, someone is still having sex with someone. I can see. Someone won't give up the other person. You say you're currently going through divorce? Alright, so, I mean, as far as making this connection any better, there needs to be honest communication between both of y'all on where your current relationships are at. Because like I said, I don't think either of y'all are being very forthcoming. Stubby, don't even think about it. Sorry, my cat trying to get up here. Lay the fuck down. Don't try. Lay the fuck down. Get your ass off of Stubby. Don't start. This is why I can't have her in here, y'all. It's because she'll just keep trying to interrupt shit. Lay your ass down. Okay, she went. She went over to lay down. Lay down. Thank you. This is the wrong time to get cuddly. You just sat over here. You had all night. That's what's up. Y'all need to communicate about what's going on behind the scenes, because very clearly it's like you're not telling him everything and he's not telling you everything about where he's at with y'all's relationship. Y'all be still having sex outside the relationship, whether that's you or him. My husband is having an affair. I'm talking about your relationship with your current dude, your little boy toy, and mine. With Ahmad, right? I don't know which was y'all's, sex problems. Both of y'all got them, so. Like I said, it's dishonesty. Whether both of y'all being dishonest or only he's being dishonest, y'all got some shit to sort out. It ain't going nowhere long term, as far as I can see it right now, currently. That's the current energy. B. B, what did you want? You want the full singles? What you looking for? I love this deck. Full singles. Let's see what's up. Are you dealing with a Libra or a Scorpio? Or is that your energy? Yeah. You got some fucking crazy ass energy on you, girl. Jesus. XQ that up overwhelming lately. Can you see anything from him? Okay, let's see. We'll start with it. because your energy is kind of like scattered when it comes to romance. I could see you kind of being like very tentative, very like self-caring, not trying to involve anyone in that pattern. Kind of seems like you're trying to find a coping mechanism right now, and you just can't latch on to anything. So right now, like romance or any of that type of shit, it's really difficult. And we'll get into that. I'll check on Q. I'm a Sag, but no Libra or Scorpio yet. Okay. They might also just be talking about your energy, talking about karma and that. You know, Libra representing the justice, which is karma, and Scorpion kind of more representing that intelligence, spiritual awareness type shit. So let's see about Q. Let's see. Why is this shit overwhelming? Because he is thinking about you. Because he is kind of like wishing and willing. If it makes sense, like I think his whole pattern of decisions when we all was in a relationship, he feels like he wasn't represented as his real self. Like he's now just realizing that how he represented himself was like an asshole or a prick. Does that mean he's sorry? No. He's not sorry for the way that he treated you. He's more feeling sorry for himself. And I think that was a lot of y'all's conversations as well when it came to the problems within this relationship. He feels more sorry for himself and the thing that he's done. Like, for himself. I could see how things got real serious real quick between y'all. I think because you're trying to move on right now, as a single person, you can't exactly pinpoint what the problems were within that past relationship. I think all of the red flags that came from that situation, you're still thinking on them. And so just as happenstance, right, because he's still thinking about himself and, you know, he's still cheating, rolling around with other people, and doing his own thing. And I saw abusive language as well. Abusive language, or just even the way that he talks to feminists, the way he talks to women in general is despicable. It's disgusting. I could see him thinking like all women want one thing, or all women are whores. You know, this is their mommy daddy issues. So deep to the extent where like this person has no self-control. Okay, only self-pity, no self-control. You're still trying to figure out the red flags, though. That's why you're so scared to move on, and that's why he's so present in your energy. You just don't understand, like, what was it about this person in the beginning? From the beginning, should you have been looking at? But I'm gonna take you away from that for a second and just say, like, at times there's no signs. You know what I mean? It's just the pure fact that the true self of this person comes out later in the relationship. So you can't control that, B. You can't control the fact that these people are assholes. You can't control that. But what you can control is yourself. And so when it comes down to speaking up towards certain behaviors, like, you know, when he starts treating you like you trash, or treating, you know, trying to, like, you know, almost like you have to make time for him, he can't make time for you, or he works too hard. Like, I don't see no working too hard in this type of scenario. But I'm gonna be honest, like, he doesn't have any, like, self-awareness to the point where you can say, like, oh, this was a red flag, that was a red flag. Like, his whole entire argument was just I feel like, well, because you can't do this for me, I'm gonna do this. Because you can't do that for me, I'm gonna do this. Because you are always wrong, I'm gonna do this. It's like punishing you for certain types of behaviors, right? It's like, it's strange, right? Because he just don't like women. You know, that's his problem. He just don't like women. Every time he gets with a woman, he's destructive. He does too much. So now moving forward, like I said, he's not even a part of the new connections that you're coming into. Okay, I don't want you to keep focusing on this, because when y'all do that, when y'all focus on the aspect of what did I do wrong, or how did I choose this person out of many, you can't like focus on that, because you're going to look for those characteristics within everybody then. And when you start looking in those characteristics, you're going to attract that. That's exactly what you attract, what you do not want, because you're so focused on like controlling this aspect of other people you can't control. Right? If someone's a nut job, if someone's fucking crazy, if someone's abusive, benign, nasty as fuck, you know, those are things that you cannot control. Those are only things that you can see and you can reject and say no to. It's very hard for you, because you understand what rejection in certain types of ways feel like. I saw a little bit of your past with your family and with where you came from. I saw that you got real comfortable with rejection. You got real, you know, like to the point where you was beating down 24/7 on yourself for behaviors that you've been through and you have gone through. So you're very sympathetic towards men like him or people like him who go through a lot, who have been through a lot. And like, you know, they have like this sweet air about them. They talk all sweet. They all, you know, they try to get into you. They try to get you to pop open your legs, basically, right? So you're very sympathetic towards people who make mistakes. But what you need to be is an adult. You need to be confident. Okay? You need to be basically like, you know, okay, so you're an adult now. You're grown now. Like all these people that be making mistakes right now, currently, I can't be a part of them. I can't be a part of that future. You know, you can't teach them the way how to be a human and how to treat a woman. You know, that's not something that you should have to do. These people should be going to get motherfucking help somewhere else. It ain't got nothing to do with you, right? You can't control it. What's your top three? So you're a Sagittarius, and then what's your ascendant and your moon? Gotta stop being sympathetic towards these people with problems. Because I know you got your fair share of issues, but it does not. You have your healing, right? There's this aspect that you're not really, you know, looking at from your own point of view, which is you're in a stage of healing, and they're not. You can't teach them how to heal. They got to do that shit themselves. That's all them, you know, not all you. You got to stop questioning on whether you're enough or whether you've done enough work. Our whole life is continuous amounts of work. Our whole entire life is healing from shit that has happened, but shit that's going to happen to us as well. So instead of focusing on this, like, oh my God, like I'm not enough, like I could never match up to this woman and that woman, or that could never be me. I could never be in a relationship with this and this and that. Like, don't compare yourself to others. Your experience is particularly your own. It ain't got nothing to do with like finding a dude who has been through the same similar amounts of trauma or understands your trauma. It's a dude who is accepting and supportive of your growth. Right? So even if he hasn't been through it, he can still see you as a person and be like, you're a person who works on themselves. I appreciate that. You know, I'm supportive of that. So moving forward, put out the intentions that you are working on yourself, that you are healing. Okay? You don't owe anybody that explanation of the reason why I did all this when I was younger, or the reason why I was in a relationship with this and this and that, or the reason why I stuck around with my abusive family members, the reason why I still deal with this and that. You don't owe anyone those explanations. Those are all for you. It's what you're working on right now, currently, that this is the information you move forward with within these new relationships. Okay, so I can see what's coming up for you. I'm gonna check to see what you're gonna be dealing with here in March. Does seem like you are. I don't know if you see a therapist, or maybe you're just doing healing by yourself. But whatever you're doing is working. Whatever you're doing is really working. Okay. Because I feel like you're ripping off different band-aids. You know, you kind of just kept yourself barely patched together for a while. But it does seem like you're finally willing to be a little bit more honest with yourself and handling these situations. You're sick of one-sided relationships. That's what I see. Yeah. Hey, Michael. Yeah, you're sick. You're really sick of one-sidedness. You're really sick of people. You showing all these people love, but them not giving you anything in return. Without like, you have to do so much work, like, and then they do nothing. It's not a shared connection. It's like they do absolutely nothing to work on themselves. And this is not just romance. This is friendships. This is family. That's all it is, right? All of it is so one-sided. And I think you're going to start to see a shift where you start cutting out different peoples in your life. Even if you love them, just distancing yourself from them because they don't show you that love. They don't show you any appreciation. It's hard for you to see this as a lesson because it is so cruel. It is so, you just feel so disrespected. You're like, what did I do to deserve this shit? But like, you didn't, it's not that you did anything. It's kind of the fact that you didn't do anything, right? It's kind of the fact that like you sat there and you forced yourself to go through it. You forced yourself to deal with this type of abuse, this type of, disgusting person. You just sat there and let it happen because that's essentially what you saw. That's what you saw as a child. And now that you're grown, you're like, oh, you're like, so I'm in a marriage or in a long-term commitment, I'm supposed to put up with all this person's despicable, disgusting behavior in order to make it last. Is that what I'm supposed to do? No, absolutely not. You can be as picky, okay, as you want to be. That does not make you a bitch. That doesn't make you, like someone who's trying to play hard to get, because that's what a lot of these men are viewing you as, is someone who's hard to get. Like, you can be as picky as you want to be. There ain't nothing wrong with it. They can't throw your trauma back in your face. Like, that shit's crazy, where it's like, you call someone out on their nasty ass behavior and then they throw your trauma that you told them about in confidence, telling them, well, I've been through this type of relationship, I've been through A, B, C, and I'm trying to heal from it, and then they throw it back in your face. That is a person who is unhealed, who is willing to hurt you, right? Wants to re-traumatize you and re-hurt you, put you through that pain again and again and again, trying to tell you your trauma doesn't matter compared to mine. Like, compare, contrast. That shit don't make no fucking sense to me. Like, can't y'all coexist? Can't y'all both be right? Men say I'm a pain to get. I said no, I want what I want. Exactly. So don't give up on it. You're not playing hard to get. You're just not someone who's gonna pop their legs open for just anyone. You're uncontrollable, which is good. Yeah, it's the narcissistic behaviors for sure. It's like, why won't you bend to my will? Why won't you be the submissive woman that I want? And B, you don't have to pretend to be submissive. That's not something that you hate. A man who's going to be right for a woman like you, who's very strong in her personality, strong in her will, is going to have to find someone who's also strong, but knows how to fucking tone it down when it comes to like talking over you and being overly dominant. That's not someone who's healed. A man who is overly dominant is not a man who's healed. Okay, that's insecurity. It's trying to push all of that down, and it comes out as anger, as obsession, as control, right? And you feel like you can't really trust anyone with that like more submissive side of yourself, so you end up arguing with them, arguing. You just don't know how to deal with it. And essentially the only way that you can deal with it is by walking away. So like I said, coming up in March, you will be dealing with some new folks. I do see finances are going to be, looks good. Finances. I don't know if you're starting anything new when it comes to work. I even picked up on like group therapy. So maybe you joining new groups or new communities, that sort of thing. Or creating your own. It does seem like you will be trying to fix a lot of your sexual problems. It's like your problems with your body, your problems with your sex. It does seem like a lot of that is going to be your focus of March. And it does seem like you're going to tell people when you're uncomfortable as well. That's been a problem of the past, where you're not, you kind of just argue it out instead of saying, hey, I'm fucking uncomfortable with you even having this conversation with me, so you need to fucking stop. It does seem like you're going to put your foot down in a way that's like understood by most men. Malibu, you accidentally kicked her? Alright, let's see. What type of dudes you gonna be dealing with? Who you gonna be dealing with? Does seem like there's gonna be some spiritual dudes coming in, some dudes who have like maybe similar beliefs. If anything, it seems like, there's this fixation for you on people that are very, very like well-spoken, kind of like preacher talk, if that makes sense. Someone who believes in God, perhaps, but like, seem like preacher talk to me. Someone who's like willing to pray for what they want, someone who's willing to like practice divination, maybe even, or goes to church. Does seem like that's going to be a newer aspect for you in finding these dudes. Is like maybe not focusing so much on the spiritual point, and focusing on this point of like self-work, self-healing. Like, I know what my trauma is, and I'm going to tackle it straight away, straight on. Yeah, I keep seeing this saying like God is good type shit. God is good to me, or spirit is good to me. And honestly, I see like a lot of your single, like, if it makes sense, you've kind of kept yourself in a position of like trying out relationships, but never ever truly feeling single. And that's what I feel like is going to happen in March, is that you truly are going to feel single. So you're going to truly feel alone, which, like I said, is just not something that you're used to. You're going to truly feel alone, meaning removing yourself from the past relationships, removing yourself from even current, like, current things, just trying to box yourself in so you can focus and think for yourself. They do talk about maybe doing like a return to sender type deal, or like doing some type of divination just to get someone out of your energy. So if you was thinking on whether you should maybe do a little bit of a ritual, or a, just go through your Bible, whatever the fuck you believe in, they be saying do that. Okay, do that. Clear your energy. Clear your energy. Okay. Who we gonna see you dealing with? Doesn't look like you're gonna be dealing with anyone in March. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard for you to be alone. I know that, but like, that's what I see, is you being alone, finding yourself, finally falling in love with yourself is what I pick up on. So March, it doesn't look like the closest season that I see you kind of picking up on dating. I think it's gonna be June to July. June and July, it looks like you're going to be looking again. I think just take as much space as you need. Take a break. As much as I love to say, just get back out there, you're going to find the person. That those things, like your mental state right now and romance, do not mix. They do not mix. And you're trying to build better for yourself. Better security, better confidence. So you in relationships right now do not mix. But I could see in June and July is going to be your biggest dating, I think, for this year. Where I see a Virgo, I see a Leo. And these are going to be new folks. Leo, Virgo, it could be also a mix of the two. So somebody who is like on the in-between. I see someone with very high like water placements, so that it's possible that they could also be a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. And it does seem like you're going to be a little bit more on the bossy side. Now with bossiness, the only thing that I could really say to you is that you have a tendency to be very, very honest, forthcoming, straightforward. And you joke a lot, I think, about your experiences, about your past. You joke a lot. That's the kind of the way that you deal with it. It's by joking or playing jokes. And I'm going to say, take yourself very seriously. That bossiness, that like, straightforwardness that pops through when you're dealing with certain types of individuals, especially these ones coming up, is going to be very important that you're able to set boundaries. And like when someone's playing jokes or talking about your shit, like that's not okay. You know, even you joking about your own shit with people like this who you don't even fucking know, that's not okay. Like, you're allowed to be sarcastic and you're allowed to play, but at the same time, maybe hold back from playing too much in your own mind, playing too much in your own trauma. It ain't got nothing to do with them. That's what you got to understand. If that's what you tend to lean towards, is telling people that you're a broken bitch right off the gate, then you need to stop with that. Stop with that, because you're not a broken bitch. You're not a broken bitch. June to July, Virgo, Leo mix, water signs also coming around. Okay? That's what's up. Alright, B. We didn't mean to boot you. I think she meant to boot someone else that was causing a ruckus. And she kind of missed. No, hell no, I don't anymore. Alright. Listen, even when you joking with your damn self, because I know you're bossy as shit. You play a lot. You're allowed to play, you know, but playing in the wrong quarters, you know what I mean? The bossiness is what I don't even worry about that. If men got a problem with you having a little bit of an attitude, it's like you're not being abusive and you're not hurting nobody. You know, you could just be sarcastic. That's like, you know, that's one of your traits, and you're allowed to, you know, exercise that. Find someone who can play with you as well, but softly, caring about you, not going too far. Because I can see you getting hurt and not saying nothing, and then kind of being a little bit withdrawn and distant. And when a man is doing too much to you, it's like, if you're doing this thing where it's like, okay, so he's doing too much, and then you go talk to your friends or family member or someone trusted, or even a psychic, you know, you go and talk to somebody about that shit. Like, I want you to keep in mind that, like, you need to deal with these things on your own. Okay? So meaning, you confiding in other people about these situations, I'm not saying that they're right out the gate going to sabotage your relationship with individuals or sabotage you, but I'm saying it's a good idea that you focus on yourself in those moments and you try to figure shit out and navigate shit yourself. It's hard for me to say that people are going to be supportive of your growth if you're feeling this alone right now. Like, it doesn't feel like anyone's supporting you, that you're the only one supporting you. So self-sufficiency. I know going to the psychics or going to the tarot readers, going to the peoples, it's like, no, that's difficult, that's hard. Because you want someone to confirm what you already feeling, but trust what you're already feeling as facts. Trust what you're already feeling as facts. You do not need to second guess yourself. I'm used to not having much support. Exactly. So, you know, kind of use that as your tool moving forward. It's like when you meet friends and when you meet allies, people who you trust and everything like that, and you ask them about relationships, keep in mind what they are in a relationship with or how much shit they talk. You know what I mean? Keep in mind with, like, these people also have their own perceptions of relationships, and they will project them onto you. They will try to control your relationship because they can't control their own. Like, a lot of these people I can see that you kind of have around you are like, girl, what the fuck you doing? Why you dealing with this? Why you dealing with that? Da, 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 da. They don't even know nothing about their own relationship. Some of them are in similar positions as you. So can you really take what they're saying as factual? I want to attract more supportive friends one day. And you will. You will. You gotta separate yourself first from the people who try to, mask and control and mask and control. The people who play too much. You can think of yourself as lucky in certain aspects because you are pretty independent. So when you find these people, when you find friends and when you find potential lovers and people that you kind of confide in with your growth, with your excuse me, with your shit, it's like you possibly can, like you have a choice, right? Most people kind of dump over you. That's what I see, is like people dumping all their trauma onto you or talking about their situation, being way too comfortable with you. But you actually have like the mentality of choice where you're like, do I say something? I mean, I could say something. I mean, do I really need to invest in these people's relationship? Am I like the fucking third party and shit? Do I really have to talk to these people and try to help them and therapize and whatever? You don't, right? If they're going to choose to be a victim, that's on them. That's not on you. That is not your fault. They just play too much. All of them play too much. All of them play too much, and then they look for someone like you who's kind of more critical of relationships. And then they ask you for your advice, and they don't follow your advice. So there's no point in giving them advice. Not at all. But that's what's up, B. Shelly was next, and then yeah, I saw you too, Loco. My one particular friend asks me all the time and asks others. Yeah, doesn't that shit get annoying though? It's like I get annoyed, like, why you asking me? Right. So there you already know where I'm kind of heading with, rejecting certain types of conversations and just being like, I don't have to give you my opinion on nothing. Because what you're dealing with is separate from what I'm dealing with, because we're two separate motherfuckers. And you don't fucking listen anyway, so... Don't take advice from those types. Too Local, I'm going to get you in a bit. I have Shelly to do, and she has a question. And then I'll hop on what you asked me. Shelly, you're still in chat? Because you haven't spoken for a sec. My daughter had a dream that I took my children on a family vacation. While on the trip, she said she checked my account and there was 30,000. Okay, an intuitive dream. An intuitive dream. Can you interpret her dream? All right, let's see what's up. Let's see what's up. You dream that you took your family on vacation and you had 30,000. Prophetic dream. Okay, so the first thing that I'm kind of picking up on is that I can see that you've been paying attention a lot to like the logistics, I guess, of your finances, of your money. You've been focusing on like, instead of enacting your vision of exactly what you want, you kind of being keeping it safe, playing it safe, like, you know, being real comfortable in actions, okay, with certain actions with your finances. I don't know if it's because you're trying to start your own business, or because you haven't exactly figured out what you want to do with yourself yet when it comes to finances. Okay, so you're very careful. I think that are you married? Do you have a partner right now? Do you have someone that you're married to, or maybe just got divorced from? Because I could see that you're in a certain type of industry, or want to be. Okay, so with this particular drive that you have, I think that you used to be someone who has been very, like, if it makes sense, sacrificial. Are you married to your job then? Are you married to your job then? Because like I said, I picked up like heavy commitment energy. So then you're married to your job. You're married to what you do. But I picked it in the past. You used to be like very sacrificial, where you will put everything forward. Just for a little snippet, you put everything forward. Very, very risque. Okay, risk level. And I think you kind of forgot how to do that. Okay, you forgot how to take huge risks, just because now you're supporting, you know, your family, right? But what they're saying is, this is your business. This is what you know. This is what you want to define yourself as. So why aren't you taking more risks? That's like, the more that you risk on your dream, the more that this shit comes to reality. So why aren't you taking more risks? Why are you playing it safe? Like I said, you used to be this person who was incredibly passionate about what you do. You know, I think you're still passionate, but you divided yourself from the playfulness of, like, you know, if it makes sense, the mind of a child, or the playfulness that you need for this type of industry. Taking risks, that's what you need to do. In order, yeah, they said gamble and take the risk. Both these cards just came out. Gamble and take the risk. When was the last time that you dropped something that was like just pure creativity and not overthoughts, right? Because I can see all these overthoughts, over processing, trying to be really meticulous with your shit. When was the last time that you just pushed it? You know, you just pushed out something and let it loose, like your pure creative mind. Didn't ask anyone about their opinions. You just did it. That's what you need to start doing more of. The playfulness of a child. Okay. Because this is your money, this is your business. You have an attachment to it, but the less fun that you have, the more it feels like someone else's job, or like it feels like someone's still controlling you, someone's still puppeteering you. Okay, I'm a Libra. It's hard not to think so much. I figured that, you know, I did pick up on the Libra energy because we didn't get the justice, but I think that you have like the right idea, all of the right ideas when it comes to your business. It's just you forget a lot of your ideas, if that makes sense. It kind of just goes all over. So you'll be thinking of something and be like, it'd be really cool to implement this idea and that idea and this idea and that idea. And it's possible that you might even have dreams about your own business and where it should go, but then you forget the shit. And you forget it because you don't do that impulsivity shit where it's like, okay, I should just do it. Right? You don't write the shit down either. You kind of just go off based off your own mind. You're like a fucking computer, really. Like you are. You are like a computer. Take the risk. I don't know what it is that you've been like trying to like pick apart and be choosy about, but take the fucking risk. When you intuitively feel like something is right for you, it is right for you, and you should move forward with it. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your foot there, because you will make a lot of fucking money once you just put your creativity out there. You can control whatever project you need to control, right? But at the end of the day, if you aren't taking that, like those new fresh creative ideas that you got in your fucking skull and using them, then you're wasting that away. You're allowing someone else to take that shit, you know, because once it's vocalized, once it's out there in the universe, you will see someone else doing it. Okay? So claim this shit. Actually enact it. Actually do it. Don't get so worried about, oh my God, you know, well, if I take that sacrifice, then what if I screw up what I already got? You won't. You already have the foundation. You already have the foundation. Right now, you're just doing too much thinking and not enough putting shit forward. Currently renting a booth and I want my own salon space. Let's get that shit moving. Let's get that shit moving. Obviously, you're talented enough. They be talking about you having, like, you know, $100,000 deals and shit. So if you need to, you know, maybe it's the fact that you need to take out a loan, or maybe it's the fact that you need to take some type of money from somewhere. Do it. This is the opportunity. Like right now is the opportunity of a lifetime to get yourself heard, because you don't have like this. You are a person who, once you are uncapped from like the rest of society and what everyone else wants you to do, you can be a fucking creative genius. What I saw in my head was like genie in a bottle type shit, where like you open your bottle up and your shit just comes exploding out like genie in a bottle. Like another person is controlling you. Like you start to have fun with shit. You start to dance about your shit. You start to dance around your salon and shit. Like just let that shit loose. That's what you've been needing to do. That's why you feel like something is missing right here when it comes to work. And that's why work has become so exhausting. You're craving for something new and you don't want to admit that. You say I have an 18-year-old daughter who's also a Libra. She's a beast with the brain. Okay. All right. So y'all have similar means of thinking. Maybe it is your child who is trying to open you up to certain aspects of yourself as well. The creativity. Maybe it is her that's meant to be there with you, meant to not necessarily guide you, but hold your hand through this process and support you. Now, if she's been pushing you to try something new and do something new, and you just been like, well, I mean, remember, she's the future type shit, and you guys can mix and make a crazy ass creative spark and just mix all of your fucking ideas together and have that shit be fire. Like you could work with like celebrities or top tier people who will regularly want you specifically picking at their head. Okay, so whatever you need to do, take out that loan, or maybe you just been like very, very closed off and you're like, I mean, I have this, you know, ideas in my head, but I just don't know how to do this and do that. Do your research and get your shit out there now. Okay, now. Yeah, they say come through. This is your fucking moment. The fear that you're just gonna lose everything right out the box is crazy to me. You're not gonna lose anything. You already have the foundation. That shit is not going to wait. We're always bumping heads when it comes to ideas, but she's the young one. I feel like I may be too old to do so. You're not. And you're not. You remember being her age and being just like her. So you're not too old. You can still tap into that fucking energy. You're not too old. Yeah, you're not too old. You could mix the old with it with the new. Isn't that the kind of the fucking point? Is like people is always doing old styles, old hair, or old whatever. People's always doing old mixed with a new, a modern twist, right? That people, I be watching some of that crazy ass fashion shit. Like the Next in Fashion show. I love fashion. I love, you know, dressing a certain type of way. You know, I love that creativity, that spark, right? And most people don't really have that. They don't play around with that shit. They don't take risks, and you can be a risk taker as long as you're willing to, you know, start that process. It's just the starting point that's really hard for you, because, you know, the insecurity, of course, about your age. You're like, well, you know, if I start this shit now, I could lose everything. You know, if I do this, if I do that, mix it up, both of y'all. Both of y'all. You know, when she's having an idea and you don't necessarily approve of it, add your own twist to the shit, right? It's still your business. Add your own twist. Like, y'all can make that shit fire. Y'all can make that shit fucking fire. Y'all can create something beautiful. I'm excited for you. O always comes back with only a new name, but it's the same process of steps and directions and instructions. Exactly. Very right there. He said fashion I would have never noticed. You know, it's a battle of your it's a battle of modern and old, right? Right now, it's like, okay, so everyone wants some specific hairstyle. Everyone's trying to come into themselves. They want something so brand new, but like nothing. Let's be honest. Everything has been done before. Okay, it's just like putting people in their own personal world when you're doing their hair. Like they love that shit. So like when someone suggests you something, so when someone younger than you is suggesting something or has like this, you know, new flux, don't pay so much attention to how stubborn she is. Pay attention to what she's saying when it comes to the ideas and kind of just mix your own with it. Mix your own with it. You know, like just do your own twist on it. Right? So she'd be talking about, oh, do this with the hair, do that with the hair. You're like, that's already been done before. Mix that shit up. Make that shit wild. Never seen before. Surprised you don't have the fur on today. It's cold, but it's not that cold. Being for real, like that shit is hot. That shit is hot. It gets me sweaty. Her new ideas with your mixed with your older ones can be, I mean, that business is gonna pop off. I'm letting you know that now. Whatever dreams that she's having is because y'all are meant to work together. Y'all have like a really cohesive drive. Like once y'all get together, it's like a fire starter type shit. It blows up and it fucking explodes. When y'all get emotional about creativity, is because y'all are like similar. You're kind of like the same person in a way. You used to be that way, so you could look at it and be like, oh, wow, I remember that type of immaturity. But that type of immaturity is what gets your shit out there nowadays. So if she wants to do like social media aspect and all that, does that dream also say that I will commit to a relationship as well? I think your relationship with work right now, your attachment with work is so overpowering that until you feel like yourself on like a steady flow when it comes to your creativity and your work, I don't think a relationship right now is going to have a balance in that, like have a say in that, if that makes sense. So right this minute, I would say not exactly. I would say dating is going to be a little rougher on the edges until you find a steady line. But like I said, once the shit starts and you start feeling brand new and you start popping out with your shit and you start getting that confidence back, I think you could be, you know, involved with another business owner, to be honest with you, because that's what I see is another business owner. Might even be someone who also deals with hair, barber. But yeah, it looked like another business owner. But this is first you need that steady line, that steady stability, so you stop like worrying yourself. Have fun with it. Look, what's funny too? It's a mom and a daughter. It's Nana the Boo Boo by YNW Melody, a mom and a daughter. She wants me to be a traveling stylist. Like I said, mix them ideas up. I'm super excited for y'all. Because I can see that shit popping off. They kept talking about it's golden, golden opportunity, money, influx of money, increase in money. They kept talking about it. Move as so as you need to move, but like I said, like once you just got that once you got that spark, enact it. Just do it. If you need to take out a business loan, whatever you got to do, don't be afraid of it. It's not going to fuck up your current stability. I did a reading in the past where you saw I was making lots of money. Go. You told me that in the reading you did for me before in the past, like back in December. Hey, then get to it. Get to it. At the same time, I say that there's no rush because creativity doesn't come with that rush. You know, creativity can be very impulsive and very random. But once you, like I said, once that idea pops in your head, don't forget it. Hold on to it and enact it. Whether it's that day or the next, write that shit down. Write those experiences down. Put that shit on paper. LLC, whatever you gotta do. Everything you said came to pass. That's awesome, Shelly. Like I said, I'm very excited for you. This shit's gonna be amazing. Once this process starts, your energy's gonna be pow. It's gonna be like fireworks. Tuloka, can you repost your question? Yeah, you're next. Tuloka, can you repost this shit? Or what are the moderators? Jessica, you're a Libra. Oh, we got a lot of Libra energy. I'm not complaining. Y'all, to me, is the most, angelic, high vibrational. Wants to know what's coming towards them in months. All right. What do you see coming from me in general for this? I got you. Ooh, Toluca, you are hard-headed as a motherfucker. I can already feel it. You are hard-headed as a motherfucker. The Empress. There she is. Jessica. Right, hold on. Let me put these away. Gotta charge these up real quick. Stubby, you behave. Alright. So, Toluca, or Jessica, I can see that there's a couple of different things going on in your mind right now when it comes to romance. More importantly, dealing with men who are too mature or younger than you, or there's something to do with like insecurities where like every man that comes towards you somehow thinks you're more attractive than them or better than them in some type of way. It has a lot to do with what you have physically. It has a lot to do with what you show yourself as on social media or even in person. But because you walk it like you talk it, even if you don't have what you're putting out, it's like you walk it like you talk it. You'll fight to the end type shit. They say you're very, very attractive. You just hate having to take care of people. That's one of the main things. It's like, it'd be one thing if you were being taken care of through these situations with men, but it's like you have to take care of them. Like, they're your fucking child and shit. They're your baby. Like, you hate that shit. Very, very obnoxious. Right now, I think you're kind of like, how do I change the energy? Or how do I change the way that people approach me? That's something where I'll say, like, it's changing your approach that needs to happen. Okay. It's changing your approach. The only way that you're going to change this type of energy is when you actually make the approach versus them. Because you're, like I said, because you're attractive, because you have a lot of things that other people don't. That includes the skill, that includes, you know, the smile, the beauty. You have what other people call independence, and they could also call that being spoiled. That's kind of wild, though. Like, that people call you spoiled, even though it's like, okay, I fought for what I have, though. I do see you trying to fix things with somebody, with a masculine, trying to fix things, or maybe they're trying to fix things with you. I wouldn't. That's a grade A. That's a grade A hoe right there. That's trouble. That's trouble. Grade A hoe. Grade A hoe. You are not these niggas' teachers. You are not their therapist. I don't know why they keep diving low like that. You to keep taking kind of risks on men that are mentally unstable. I can see that. Probably an ex. He's a stalker. Yeah. I mean, if he's coming back, obviously he's watching you. I think that's something that's standing out to me, is that he's obviously watching, even though he's dealing with other women. He is crazy. I mean, I can see legit mental illness here. It's no excuse on how he treats people, but like I said, I can see a mentally ill person. Got hoes. Also, people who you're having sex with, you gotta be careful with that. I can see you trying to start anew when it comes to finances. Finances look good. I think that, like, you're gonna be really, really peaceful with your process. I think you were starting to get a little pissed off there when it came to work. Very, very pissed off. Very, very, like, you know, I think that you tried to take over, you know, a project or a situation where, you know, you couldn't fix it, or there was no way that this was going to work out. Okay. I feel like maybe someone offered you something, or like when it comes to work, you had like an idea and maybe it just like went haywire and went crazy. Because I think if you were at the head of the project, or the head of the situation, I think that it would have gone better. But because you weren't, because you were kind of taking orders from another individual or trying to help somebody else, it wasn't ever going to be, you know, what it could have been. They are talking about travel for you as well. Okay. Let's see. They talking about travel for work. To Luca. They're talking about travel. I think it's more or less like, why aren't you going the distance or going the mile that you need to go in order to start your own shit? I wanted to go to Tampa for work. Okay. So they're saying, why hasn't this process been started yet? Like, what do you need as a kick in the ass to like get this process started? Because what they're saying is like, okay, so you want to do this, right? I make good money at the casino. It's sort of like, why hasn't this happened? Okay, I can see, you know, you can spend other people's money as well. I can see that. Okay, so I think that you've kind of put yourself on the chopping block more recently when it comes to finances, right? Because you've been kind of not even living on the edge. That's not the right terminology. It's just like living as if you are surviving. Okay, like just trying to survive. It's like just trying to get by. Okay, you've been skirting around all the serious potential work and trying to like just trying to scrape by. That's not working for who you are anymore. That's just not working for you no more. You gotta get unstuck from that idea of like, okay, I just need to survive. I need to get to the next location. I need to do this. I need to do that. I think, you know, your usage of other people to get where you're at, I'm not gonna down that. I'm gonna say if you're not doing it correctly or doing it right, you end up right back in the position that you were in before without any fucking money. Okay? Like, you know what I'm gonna say, you know what you're doing. My signal is freezing. You can go back and listen to this whenever, you know, whenever I'm done. But I'm saying, you know what you're doing. That's not what I'm worried about. It's the fact that, you know, you always end up very, like, you just don't spend your money on what you should be spending on. You know, if it makes sense, you're trying to like buy your freedom right now. Okay? You're trying to buy your freedom. Like, I don't understand, like, this survival tactic that you're going through right now, though. Like, just scraping by when you could be investing in yourself for sure. They do talk about your spiritual significance, your like intuition, you know, psychic shit. So, I mean, if you haven't already kind of dove into that, maybe into reading your own cards type shit, they said you should. Or maybe you've been planning on going to see a psychic. I mean, you're talking to me right now, but at the same time, there could be other plans for you where you want to talk to somebody that's a little bit more like in person. Try to help you deal with some of this like spiritual trauma, intuitive trauma. I think you're just lacking clarity right now. You keep changing your mind about what you want. There's also another factor. What's your ascendant in your moon? Yeah, you're a witch. I mean, I can see it here. You're definitely a witch, or you have that strongly in your background. Like, you have the capability of manifesting a lot. But you're starting to get burned out. What do they want you to do? What do they want you to do? What do they want you to do? Bro, why are people giving you free money? Of course it's men. What do they want you to do? Okay. I mean, this focus on appeasing the opposite sex. Or maybe they're trying to appease you. This focus on, like, maybe, you know, people kissing the ground you're walking on, or you kissing the ground that they're walking on. This focus around love and romance. I think you need a break. I'm going to be square with you. I think you need a break from all that. I think you need a break. Okay? Because I think your self-worth is starting to, like, collapse a little bit because you are dealing with these types of men. So I honestly just think you need a break from all that. Like, this idea that, like, opposites attract, and you keep getting with dudes that are your opposite and they end up treating you like shit, or, you know, not giving you exactly what you want. All that needs to stop. You need a break. So if that travel is what gets you your break to look on, just Jessica, if that travel is what you need to detach, then do it. You're struggling with finding more to life, or struggling with finding more to yourself. It's like an endless cycle. You feel like many people don't understand who you are or what you're about, and they make a lot of assumptions. They do a lot of dumb shit. I think they also, like, they can't take that you are who you are at face value. So no matter what you tell them, right, you're always a liar or whatever, like, just because of the way you act, I guess. You know, you have a lot of sass built up in you. I think you're hurt. You know, not even by a specific situation, not even by a specific man. I just think you are hurt. I think right now you're going through this crux of repeatedly making the same mistakes on the same types of people because you can't separate yourself from the past. The more you're trying to separate yourself, it seems like, you know, when you're tested, when a dude comes back around, or when a particular situation that you know, found yourself, you know, kind of second guessing, or look at, you know, you're intuitive as fuck. Like, you know when someone's messing around or fucking around at you. I just think your curiosity gets the best of you a lot of the time. I think that's kind of what's ruining this aspect of confidence for you. Like, you have to fake it until you make it, and that's a problem. Like, once you start faking, like, if you have to now fake that you're happy with yourself and your own actions and your own future, that's a problem. Okay, walk it like you talk. It only comes in clutch when you actually feel confident about yourself. So the fact that these people is destroying that aspect of you, that needs to change, and that means you need to get the fuck away from them. That means you need to, like, you know, start enacting as someone who's just an individual, just you going out in your single space and, you know, flirt and do all of that extra shit, but don't keep hyper focusing on, oh, I'm gonna be alone, or I'm gonna be alone for the rest of my life, or, you know, I'm gonna keep dealing with these dudes, or, you know, I'm never gonna find the right one. No, that's all bullshit. It's just, you need space right now. You need space. You need to go. Travel. Do what you got to do. Don't think that this is like, you know, some like personal journey that only you are going on. Because there's many people who have attachments to this lifestyle. Okay? It's just that now it's about you. And now it's the way that you deal with things that you need to change. Stop dealing with people who traumatize you. Start making better choices when it comes to that. Like, just shut people down when they do that shit to you. And don't come back to them. Or don't allow them to come back. Even if they are, like, you know, maybe funding something or paying for something, whatever. Like, that needs to change. That, like I said, it's survival mode. That's what I keep picking up on, is survival of the fittest. That type of lifestyle needs to stop. If you want to be your best self, you can't keep being codependent on others. You're looking for good energy, and I can see that coming in for you at the end of March. Okay, I can see good energy coming in for you at the end of March, because I think you shut down some folks. I think I see a water sign here. Yeah, they said atoning for your sins. So, I mean, they could just be talking about karma. I think you just start thinking about things a lot deeper in March as well when it comes to your emotions. Like, how do you really feel? Instead of hiding the shit. Because they talk about you being a teacher. Someone who's capable of teaching others. But when you're teaching others and you're kind of being a little bit of a hypocrite, where you're not enacting those same behaviors that you're preaching on or speaking on, that's a problem. Yeah, they said hold yourself responsible. What's coming in financially for you? Okay, huge opportunity ahead. They said, hold on, I have these cards over here. These money cards. End of March. I see something. End of March. Okay, they said end of March. They said lawsuit or something to do with the law. Your hard work is paying off. If you're going through a divorce, it could be actual lawsuit. You could also be in, making things, like, you might be making things official here. Could be like an LLC, that sort of thing. New ride. Okay, they talk about also new ride, but this could also be travel. So they're talking about you maybe getting a new way of travel, new experience for you. I see, you still feel a little blocked by the end of March, but this opportunity coming through, wealthy women, rich bitch hustler. These cards crack me the fuck up. They said don't be afraid to fail on your upcoming work situation. Let's see what else we got. Okay, they say you're in for a sweet surprise. So, like I said, you got to separate yourself from this aspect of like being needed or wanted by someone when it comes to the financial aspect, like the man aspect particularly. That's becoming real toxic and starting to like crack down on your confidence. You're not able to focus as much as you should be. So I think traveling might just be eye opening for you. It's gonna feel a lot lighter for you. Yeah, they said ascension. They said travel by yourself. Go by yourself. Money look good. And the March, like I said, if you're starting a new endeavor, you're investing into a new endeavor, it looks like something legal or making something official legally, it's gonna go in your favor. Toluca, if it froze a lot, then just go back and listen. Because I think I have that option on right now where you can just go back to wherever and listen to where I started. Looks fun. Just gotta get your ass straight. Yeah, like I said, you keep getting distracted by all this trivial shit. Can I make a super chat for a question? Yeah, you can. Just make sure everyone's reading the description. You guys that are coming in, that are new to this experience, you don't know what the fuck this shit is, just go to the description. Lima, you said, I don't know exactly what to ask. I trust what you bring is one message I'm supposed to get. Is Lima still here? I can draw you a oracle card or some oracle cards. Lima. Hey Sherry. I'm good. How are you? Make sure you read the description, please. Where did Lima go? I'm gonna go take a piss real quick and go grab some more water. Those of you, like I said, that are new to this experience, please read the description. And Lima, if you're not in the chat by the time I come back, then I'm gonna just move on. All right. All right, bro. Shit, I'm telling you something. I'll be right back. I found a candle. Lima must have left. I don't know why the quality always drops like that. You said I'm still feeling like people playing with my money this month. I think the patience piece of all that is kind of the most difficult part. Yeah, they say sacrifices need to be made. That's what I mean. Like, I think it's the patience piece that's kind of not working. Yeah, they said put those ideas to work. They said sign the damn contracts. Alright. I can't remember who got me these cards. Protect your money. I really do feel like it's the patience piece. Yeah, they said overwhelm, slow down. Move in silence. Be careful of unnecessary spending. They talk about resources recovering. He said I'm a shopaholic. I'm trying my best not to. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. It's hard. The only way I escape those types of behaviors, I think it's a little bit of that torn in me, but it's also just me being like impulsive sometimes with my spending. And the only way I got away from that for sure was like stop going out so much, start really consciously like moving around the house, like moving shit around my house, trying to make me feel better about not having certain things. Buying things that are useful. Buying less clothes. My first baby daddy isn't paying child support every time he does it. I end up going to court. You have to do, I mean, in that situation, you have to do it. You have to do what you have to do. Like, if he's not going to be paying attention, like, that's kind of wild, though, right? Like, it's court ordered, and he's still not doing it. So, that's going to count against him more than it's going to count against you. I know it's hard when you're strapped for fucking cash, and when that shit doesn't come through, you're like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to take care of my kids? But like I said, it's going to count against him in the long term versus you. If he makes a habit of that shit, you could spend some time in the cell. Does he communicate at all about what's going on with you? About why he's not paying? It's crazy. I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Does he communicate at all with you about what's going on with his finances? He doesn't. So he thinks it's okay just not to do it. You don't talk. He started to think that's the baby daddy trait. Malibu. Not all of them are like that, but in this type of situation where he's clearly skipping payment, it's not something that you fucking forget. You have kids. It's not something you can forget, especially when it's a situation with the fucking court system. So the fact that you have to show up there and demand it, and he still hasn't gotten any repercussions for that. It's interesting. Yeah, I am mistreated. What's your question? How many times does he do that, Malibu? Yeah, Miss Tarita, I'm talking to you. He said it seems like every year back and forth. Yeah. Have you ever tried to talk to the court about repercussions? This particular one, the other one, yeah. What is the meaning behind all these recurring numbers and strange dreams? Seems like some of the dreams are about recovery. A lot of these are about recovery, instability, these dreams, or lack thereof. I had a dream about the other day I was up by the lake and the baby daddy was there and a voice said, inside heart, something about him or him. Okay. Don't remember if it was good or bad. I mean, what I see, something to do with like court order repercussions to his actions. So I'm gonna be honest. I think that a lot of your dreams, like I said, are recovery. Recovery from a broken heart, from this situation, recovery from the past, recovery financially as well. So trying to bring yourself back up to par. Trying to balance your stability. I could see there being court orders, something, legalities. That's coming back up, it seems like. Yeah, something about court orders, something. I don't know if there is like a real strong meaning behind the heart piece of that, because I don't think that there's anything that you have to hear out from this situation. I think that is maybe his projection of how he feels about the situation, and it's also possible that he's trying to like manipulate your energy a little bit, even in conversation with you, maybe trying to manipulate it a little bit, like acting chill even though he's not chill, even though he's not fine and he's not okay. You said, I know it wasn't hard. I meant to say here. Okay, so I mean, like I said, I didn't think that there was any significance to that. To me, it's like the way he moves. He's a liar. He's a con, and he tries to manipulate. And I think that these are all things that count against him within the court of law. And I do think that that is something that's going to come up for you within March. Is essentially taking the charge on legalities. Okay, because he is trying to swoon. That's what he's trying to swoon you. It's funny that me and Malibu were just talking about this shit. His sister came to my aunt's shop and told my auntie, my cousin, he was doing really bad. I mean, it's obvious that he's a drug addict. Like that's he's a drug addict. I've told you this several times before. He's a liar. He's a con. He's a drug addict. That's what he do. That's how he holds himself. Do you see me winning the custody and the child support? Yeah, but like I said, if you're not going to take action now, you're going to have to at some point. Like I'm just letting you know that you're going to have to. Now that might be an extra, added thing onto your plate right now when you're trying to get your money right, but this is a situation that's going to happen eventually. I do think so. I do think it will be quick. Yeah, I do think so. I do think so. I do think so. Absolutely. Let me see. He ain't, what I want you to know is that he ain't got shit. No, he doesn't have a lot of money. He doesn't have. It's because most of his money it goes towards addiction. So it's costly if it. I don't think it's gonna run months and months. I think that, like I said, what I see here is that it's gonna be proven through his own actions. I think he's trying to communicate that he doesn't have the lawyer money. No, he doesn't have any money at all. That's what it's looking like. It seems like this is kind of just a war of like I don't know why he thinks it's okay to like tell people certain things about himself, thinking that it's not going to come back to you, but it's going to come back to you. And essentially, like, he's never going to do the right thing when it comes to y'all's child together. It's going to be consistency on and all. He's going to be consistent one month, and then the next month he's nothing at all. You're not going to hear from him. He's so like, you know, he doesn't care. Okay, that's what I'm picking up on, is that he really doesn't care. He just wants to get this off his record. He already has that shit. Like, he already has a motherfucking record. At this point, he just doesn't understand that, like, consistency and not co-parenting and all that type of shit. He doesn't understand that that's not going to fly in the court. Not at all. Especially with someone like him. He's a loser. I would take the risk to finally go through with this. Just to get him off your back. Because I think that you not cutting off of this connection and him still not paying enough, not giving to you enough for y'all's child together kind of is the evidence that you're looking for. And that's what I'm seeing. That's why right now it's imperative that you are very, very, very ruthless towards this situation. Okay, I want you to be ruthless. Like that's what you got to do. Be ruthless. That's all you can do. There ain't no feeling bad for someone like this, because he's never ever going to step forward for his kid. All right, that's why you're dreaming of him. That's why the numbers are popping up. It's talking about financial stability. It's talking about emotional stability and what you need to do in order to get there. So right now, what you need to do is move forward on this process. Take this shit out. Because you know it's never ever going to be perfect. He's never ever going to pull through. Just take this shit out. I don't think it's going to take months, babe. I don't think it's going to take months. I think you got to take the risk. I'm going to be real with you. Yeah. They talking about commit to it. Yeah, they talk about his failure to cooperate. They talk about false pretense. Yeah, they talk about pay for your own problems. He doing suspicious shit with his money, and he needs to get charged for it. You said, "Don't say sorry to me. I'm gonna pray for him and pray for them in those cold nights in the cell." Yeah, they said go hard and go home, or go home. Don't feel bad for him. There ain't nothing you gotta feel towards that situation. It is between you and him and supporting that kid. And if he's not putting forward the effort that he needs to be putting forward, then he needs a threat. And obviously you are not that threat, because he hasn't yet put forward that effort at all, really. So he needs a real threat. The threat of the cell type shit. The cold concrete. The cold concrete. No more chances. If you want your life right, you need to take care of the situation so he ain't hanging at your neck like that. Last time you wrote for me, I was really sad. When I quit this toxic work environment, I am better now. That's good. So I'm definitely going to get full custody. He doesn't come around like at all, really, seriously. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes on that. You know, I'm gonna stay uncertain on it just a little bit because they can throw you for a whole entire loop. But I don't honestly, like, more or less it's in your favor because of his actions, because he's an addict, because he does do fraudulent shit, because he doesn't have a real job. All of these things, like, they're not gonna allow a child to come around someone like that. You know what I mean? They're not going to allow a child to come around someone like that. No fucking way. Okay, especially if he doesn't show up to the court. That's what I see. Him possibly not even showing up. Can't prove he's an addict, but I can still prove he's doing fraud. And don't even overshoot the situation. Because once you just say, like, he's not there to take care of his kid, and he's also not paying you the appropriate amount to take care of his kid, all of those things count against him. So those are things that he, like, those things will come out. Like the addict type behaviors, all that. Those are things that will come out with this situation. Okay? He doesn't have a stable job. You know. All of these things are shit that will come out because he's not responsible for his. At this point, he's not shown any responsibility. Not at all. So that's what's up. All that shit will come out anyways. The fact that he's an addict, the fact that he's a pig. Take him by the throat. Take him by the throat. That'll also help you with getting stable for a home. What's your question about your job? Real quick, and then I'll move on to local. What is your question about your job? Like, what's gonna happen if I stay? Okay, so if you stay, let's see what happens. What's gonna happen if you stay? I think it's gonna be the same situation that you was in before. That's what it looked like. The same situation. Nothing has changed, basically. Yeah, the same situation. The same experience you had before, the same frustration with the same person, the same amount of money. I don't think there's going to be any changes to your position. Yeah, the same shit. The same shit. It's still exhausting. Still dealing with that Karen. The same shit. Okay. Now, would you have the, some source of income? Yeah, you'd have the same shit that you was having before. Nothing added, nothing subtracted, but at the same time, that's not enough. Okay? You know for a fact that that's not enough. And then you said, if you left. Let's see what happened if you left. Now, if you left, first of all, I do feel like they would probably kind of fight for you to stay. I don't know if that would be something that you would be interested in anyways, like I said, because of Crooked Karen, but I do think that they would say something about you staying, like, are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? Type shit, because I feel like they're already short-staffed, or they don't have enough help. So maybe, let's see, would this result in a raise? I don't think it would even result in a raise, though, honestly. They might try to, like, bargain with you and say, well, you can work from home for half the week and then come in the other half of the week type shit. But like I said, there's no change. I don't see any change in financial shit. Would you find something new? Would you find something new? Yes, you would. You would find something new. I do think that it would be maybe something from home or really, really close to home. Yeah, I see something really, really close to home. Okay. Fixing your finances is going to be hard after this situation because they fuck up the process so bad with that traveling shit and with not giving you steady pay, and of course that situation where you was pregnant. So I think that you would find something close to home. Okay, that would it'd be either the exact same pay or a little bit, like just a little bit more. It still wouldn't maybe be enough, but it would be close. It would be close. All right, it would be close. I would find this situation before you quit. I don't know, that's fucking hard just to not walk out because the situation is so toxic. Like I said, it seems like your next situation is close to home. You got brother grabbing my phone. See what's that say? Hi, baby. Hi, Gemini. Yeah, they said take the risk. Take the risk. Like I said, it's going to be closer to home, whatever you end up settling for. And I do think there's going to be several opportunities, not just one. Can you believe she's almost a year? No, I feel like we just met like yesterday type shit. I think it's been like since yesterday that you came to this channel type shit. Even when you were still pregnant. But Geminis grow fast and they start talking fast too. The moodiness. Take the risk. I'm even gonna pull a money card for you. Yeah, they say huge breakthrough finally. Huge breakthrough. They said be proud of yourself after you quit the situation. Be proud of yourself and take your time. Yeah, don't be afraid of change is what they said. They say, entering a cycle of pure abundance. They say you're gonna have multiple sources of income. So maybe several different jobs, several different situations. One step at a time, no love. One step at a time. Still waiting to hear from it. It's gonna be a second. I would say be patient. Try to take the shit one step at a time. When it comes to going back to work, try your best to think on what's best for you right now in this moment. Maybe saving up a little bit more money might not be bad. I know it drains you to go into that workspace, and it's really, really hard for you not to freak the fuck out. But it's temporary. That's what I want you to continue thinking, is that it's temporary. It's not where you're going to work for the rest of your life. And plus, I can see you having several different sources of income, maybe even several different jobs that will be close enough to you. So you won't have to worry about, leaving your daughter behind, or worry about, the pattern of leaving and coming back and leaving and coming back, being on call or whatever. Like, that shit, not even a part of the future. So take the risk. Again, I got that card again. Take the risk. I think you'll probably be working at a smaller spot as well. A smaller, more easygoing, more laid back. It'd probably be at a desk. There may be a small clinic or something like that. But it seems like something where you're going to be manning a phone. Okay? Try your best to hold your shit for the right situations. To Loca, you said, can you see anything in love? Just love, maybe new. Mystery, I feel that. I feel like I'm going to crack. Or going on crack. You'll be alright, babe. Going to work in the legal situation is definitely going to be very, very busy. But imagine how much work that takes off your back. Getting it situated now so that you could have a stable, steady income for your child, you and your child. And then the new jobs and the new offers and shit, you can take a look at some of those. Turn you into Ted Bundy. Don't be saying that out here. YouTube gonna take you out. I'm not inviting him to the birthday party. I can't tell you what to do with your child. If I was in the predicament, I wouldn't. But at the same time, would that count against you in the legal aspect? I'm not sure. YouTube do be snitching, that's what I mean. If you invited him, would he even come? That is the question. Jessica, are you still here? I could say I was upset. That's true. After it's settled. That's true. Like I said, if you don't feel like it's safe enough to bring him around your child, or even like just for your own mental, then you're fine. You're the mother. And he's barely the father. Alright, Jessica. Jessica, maybe refresh your page, because I think you were just a little bit behind. Or someone tell Jessica to refresh. No one cares for him, not even his own, because they know what bullshit he's up to. He said, any messages, I'm open ears. Let me try out the oracle cards first. For you, Jessica. Let me try out some oracles. Jessica in love. All right. Jessica. Yeah, I see. Jessica, your first card, and remember the theme is love. So fit it to your situation as well as you can. And I'll try to even, talk around some of these situations because some of the oracle cards are confusing for some folks. So your first card is soar. Have the confidence to fly. Get up and open your wings and feel supportive. Feel the supportive wind carrying you to your destination. There are no obstacles in your way. Now is the time to move. Conjure up your courage and take action. Soar brings a rush of energy and open channel to receive the information needed to progress quickly with confidence towards your goal. It is in the space that blocks are removed and events flow beautifully as you sail to success. So then, we already talked about you fucking traveling, and that's what I feel like this card represents. It's fucking traveling. It's like, moving forwards instead of dealing with all the past drama and trauma. We already talked about that. Like you have an attachment issue with the past because every time it keeps coming back up, regardless of whether you're entertaining it or not, it seems like you show a little bit too much curiosity, a little bit too much of the, oh, I hope he get his karma, or I hope this and I hope that, or I wonder how he's doing, or you're too much into everyone else's fucking business. Like, stop worrying about that shit. It ain't got nothing to do with you, and that's the type of attitude you need to have moving forward is, the exes and all that. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Number 40, your next card, resistance. There may be a strong wind coming your way. However, you do have the ability to find the path with least resistance. Have you ever seen a crow get thrown by the wind? The bird may get taken off guard, but it finds its balance again. Resistance brings an obstacle or adds friction to a situation. Ideas that would once have sailed into completion may now require some additional work. You may find a project or a goal now requires an extra step to pass on to another phase. Resistance might manifest itself as a need for approval from an outside influence. We talked about that as well. That takes longer to achieve. When resistance appears in your reading, you are asked to be adaptable and find the path of least resistance. So with this particular card, I think that, what you're resisting is a change in who you approach or who you deal with on a romantic level. I think it's very, very hard for you not to deal with the types of people that are gullible, that are kind of stupid in a way, or young and dumb. They play too much type shit. I think that you just got attached to a certain type of person because you think it's easier for you to talk to them. But even then it's like there's no maturity level there. You know what I mean? There's no maturity. Like you still left feeling unfulfilled and feeling undesired. Like it doesn't matter how many pretty words come out of someone's mouth. It just feels like to me that you play too much. Okay, there's too much play there. It's like if you want to get serious about romance, then you get serious. You stop dealing with all the outside drama and people who are just, sex toys, sexual, they just are predators, basically. I mean, they prey on a particular lifestyle. Now, you are that particular lifestyle for them. Play too much. 36 is play. Crows are not always so serious. They enjoy the company of friends and spending time engaging in play. When this card appears, it is time to relax. Exercise your creative mind and maybe body too in play. When we give our brain something different to consider, something that brings us joy, it will reward us by being more productive when it comes to time to go back to work. In a world where we are constantly consuming information, play asks that you disconnect and allow your brain to create some output. It is during play that our creative mind expands. It is during states of play that our minds relax out of the blue, where we discover the solutions to problems that may have been eluding us. I already told you that you need to take a break from romance, that you need to take a break from relationships, sexual relationships including. You need to take a break. I already told you. Now, it's very hard for you because, like I said, you let the curiosity get the best of you. Okay? Like, you always want to see the end result to something where there might not be a fucking good end result, right? It's like you like to stick through it, thick and thin type shit. But that's not being responsible with yourself. That's not being responsible with your body, right? And with your mind. Like, you're not taking into the account that your mind right now is kind of at an influx. I will take a break. I haven't dated in months. Have you been having sex, though? Have you been having sex or dealing with people sexually? Or maybe even peeking at the past, stalking the past? Wondering too much about the past, asking tarot readers about the past? You need a break. You need a solid break. A break that, like, you don't even need to be having sex, to be honest with you. It's just the thoughts of the past or the thoughts of dealing with these past situations. That's what needs to change. Okay? Moving forward, you need to, it's not like I'm saying you need to forget all that. Okay? I'm not saying you need to forget all of it. I'm saying moving forward, use that as red flags, but also don't like block yourself off to one aspect of a relationship. I just don't think you're as honest as you should be when it comes to talking to certain talking to people romantically. I think you hide yourself and hunker down and try to act like the sweet treat type shit. And the sweet treat, you get a certain type of man. Okay? You need to enact that, like, commanding, not demanding, but commanding type Empress energy. You're hard-headed, and that's the first thing I said, because I could see it's very hard for you to change. It's very hard for you to get new results out of old situations as well. And I know the ex is stalking and the ex is a piece of shit, right? But that shouldn't change your view of love. You still have the capability of falling in love. Absolutely. And that also shouldn't change your view of yourself. You need to release that past experience with that past dude in a way that's just healing for you. Realize that process is not going to be the same across all your relationships. Realize that, as long as you're open and honest, as long as you can stop people when they're trying to cross certain boundaries, trying to challenge you or fuck with your emotions. Like, when you feel that shit, you question it, okay? You put forth effort in those positions. Don't let them lead. Y'all meant to lead together. Gemini, Virgo, Leo, Scorpio on my chart. So it does make sense then on why, you have this, you have a certain type of emotional manipulation problem where you like to hunker down and hide certain aspects of yourself when that's not beneficial towards you or the relationship. So coming back into yourself, and I know you say you haven't been out there for a couple of months or so, you need to really, really, really be ready to rip off that bandage and be really honest and be as direct as you want to be with these folks, but also don't give up too much of that, I guess, that confidence away to others. Because what I see is like kind of a flighty experience with you, where like you have one foot in and one foot out, and you start doing manipulative tactics where you're like, oh, I know how to get a dude. You know, I know how to shake my leg in front of his damn face and be like, oh, nope, you can't have it, da 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 da. Well, that type of teasing and that type of like attraction that gets men sexually frustrated. Is like, what about the communication aspect? You know, I think that just gets forgotten. Because you're like, well, men are so fucking stupid, or these dudes are so fucking dumb. Oh my god. You're looking for one that isn't dumb, correct? So don't play him like he's stupid. Okay? Don't play the dudes like they're stupid. If you're going serious, then go serious. Stick to that. You're allowed to be playful, by all means. But stick to that. I want security. I want commitment. I want loyalty. I want love. Stick to that mentality. Not, oh, I'm gonna manipulate, I'm gonna play with it, you know, I'm gonna lie to get this dude this way, or I'm just gonna play with all the, you know, the people that are dumber than me. Unfortunately, I know that, you know, I know you're very physically beautiful. That, like I said in the first reading, that's all they kept saying. You're very physically beautiful, but you need to show that like it's not all that you have to offer. Right? I know you can use that to your advantage, obviously, to get with people who are also physically attractive and wonderful. But that's not what you need to be doing, right? It's all about the brains for you. You have a lot of Scorpio, a lot of Gemini up in Virgo up in your chart, which means it's all about the brains. And someone can pretend to have brains, right? But at the same time, if you're asking the right question, you can crack down on these motherfuckers real fast and move on. You don't even need to fucking deal with those motherfuckers as long as you asking the right types of questions. Right? Because you yourself are trying to do your own healing. I'm hoping one day I can find someone who was really genuine other than interest in physical beauty. Which is understandable, but this is the thing. Do you let it slide into just a physical relationship? Do you just end up rolling over and kind of accepting that this person is only into your sexual aspect? Or do you kind of give into that because they're also physically attractive, also have sex with them, also deal with it that way? Like, when you're starting the relationship, right, sex shouldn't even be a part of the conversation right out the gate. And I know that's also hard though. Like that's hard on a level, because it's like you want someone who's good in the bedroom too. You want someone who could take care of you in the motherfucking bedroom too. You don't want someone who's inexperienced or like they're just weird with it. But to find someone who matches your energy truly, you're going to need to separate yourself from that sexual imagery. Okay? I'm not saying pretend you're an ugly bitch, because like I said, you know you have assets. You know you're sexy. You know you're attractive. You know you're not a fucking clown. But show that through action as well. You're not easy to trick and easy to play with. You don't gotta have sex with nobody. Okay? You're a treat, not a trick. Alright? That's the mentality moving forward. You're a treat, not a trick. Okay? So they have to work for that goddamn shit. They gotta work for that treat. Meaning communication. Stay away from those sexual aspects. If he's not willing to do that, you can't change his damn mind. If he's just a sex fiend, he is just a sex fiend. If that's what he hyper focuses on all the time and it makes you uncomfortable, either you say that or you move on. Either you speak your mind and say, it makes me real damn uncomfortable with men just making it about my motherfucking body. Because it's not just about that. Right? Either you say that or you hop. Okay, you have full choice. I want you to know it's not just these men's out here like, you know, trying to get it between your legs and shit like that. You know, those aren't the only men that exist. Even though that's the first thing that might come to our mind, because you're beautiful, because you're attractive. You want a man who knows that you're attractive, but at the same time, you want a man who knows you're attractive all across the fucking board. Your brain too, your mind too. And vulnerability is not just about talking about your past and talking about your traumatic relationships. Okay, and talking about those right out the gate shows that you're too comfortable with your trauma, that you're still living in it. That's a warning sign. That's a red flag for most people. Okay, for people, or at least men who are healed. So what you want to do is talk about your experiences, just you as a person, as a single person, as a phenomenon, as that's just you. Okay, screw all the past relationships. You can get into that later and those problems later, but build a friendship, build a good rapport with somebody. Make sure that you're not showing that false side that you show to everyone else. Okay, show them something special, right? You're truly interested. You truly want to get out there. You truly want a long-term relationship. Don't tell them stories from the past where you was hoeing and rolling around and doing this and doing that. You are so different. You are so different from who you used to be. You know that. Okay, because I saw all the dirt and all the drama. You are so different from how you used to be. Now, is that still a part of who you are? Absolutely. The confidence piece, you've always kind of driven with it. But the way you use that is the important part. Okay, the brains of the operation. Because a lot of these niggas out here do not have brains, but you're trying to find one with the brain. So questions, lots and lots of questions. If you hear something that you particularly cannot stand and do not like, do not sit around with it and do not play with it. Like, wow, I feel this connection with this dude. I feel like we got a soul connection, but he's a sex addict. But he does all this other shit. Like, okay, do not compromise. No compromisation. No compromise. No compromise. Okay, because these dudes just gonna keep playing that small violin and be like, well, I mean, I have like 12 baby mamas, and all 12 of them, I mean, I have to go back around them, take care of my kids, and this and this and that, and they having sex with the bitches. Like, no compromise. None at all. Be as picky as you need to be. That is okay. Because right now you're trying to protect your biggest parts, which is your heart. And a man who is capable of like understanding emotional intelligence can understand that there's a whole entire process. There's a whole entire process to getting to know you. Okay, you're learning new things every single day, and he's gonna be patient with that. He won't force shit onto you that you're uncomfortable with, and you won't do that to him. Okay, it's a two-way street. Two-way street. I am still taking donations. But Jessica, you definitely have it. Like, you have everything that you need to continue forward. It's just that I think what you need is a little bit of a break from, like, overthinking and fear. So maybe, like I said, a trip might help you a little bit. A trip just to get out of your own mind. You think too much about what might happen and not about what's happening right now. Like, well, he might become a stalker. He might be this way. He might be that way. He might be all of those things. But at face value, right now, where are you at right now? Who are you talking to right now? Okay, what are they showing you right this minute? Right now. Are they showing you something that you don't like? Bye. See ya. Goodbye. That's it. I can't help myself. I'm very expressive. Jada, you got a question? I saw your donation. What career path should you consider? Been very confused. There's just a lot on my mind. I would like to get clarity on this if you can. Sure, I'll try my best. I'll try my best. Get my music back in real quick. Okay, I can see that you're very, I don't want to say paranoid. It's not really about paranoia. It's just feeling some type of way. It's more like depression, on and off. Like you don't know how to feel type shit. So you're kind of just like rolling with the punches. And I can see how that might limit you right now. What opportunity in that. Yeah, you feel like everything's moving against you when it comes to starting new endeavors or starting your own job. Entrepreneurship is what I actually pick up with you. I don't know if they're talking about photography or taking pictures of yourself or something like that. Photography, or maybe it's some type of design or art, but they talk about photography. Are you interested in photography or interested in some type of art? Because they does talk about entrepreneurship, truly, but taking pictures is what I keep picking up on. They talk about how self-expression is kind of your means of like, this is where all of your emotions come at play. This is where you are your most stable or your most balanced. It's like whatever this artsy shit is. You take it very seriously. I used to think about it in high school, but I didn't go for it. The biggest things that I kind of see getting in your way is viewing other people's art and being like, that's cool, I wish I could do that. It's a little bit of envy or just a little bit of jealousy, which I think that in certain situations can be a good thing, kind of to kick you in the ass and make you focus a little bit more about what you want for yourself. But the more you also say that, the more you long for it. You say you was too shy. But like now, how do you feel, right? Now, how do you feel? How do you feel currently? Because they talk about how, oh, you know, I used to practice all of these things. I used to do all these things, but now it feels like I've come to a stopping point where none of those might have, like you never kind of looked back or used those in your current. You had a really hard time with finding your safe space within something, or like, if it makes sense, elevating something, like being more serious about it, I guess. But with something creative like that, if you're good at it, you don't need to be too serious. It's a relaxing for you. It's something that you just do. So they're talking about something for work that you just do automatically, and you feel comfortable. Like that's your shit. You feel cool about that. Like that's your shit. Where you know, I know that you kind of question whether you're good at something or not, but I feel like beauty is in the eye of the fucking beholder. Like whether you're good or not versus whether you're being just creative and being yourself, those things matter. Like you don't have to be perfect. Like obviously practice plays into that a little bit, but you have your own particular you have your own particular type of doing things. Particular. Okay. Have you thought about going to school, going back to school, or dealing with any of that? Because I think right now where you're at currently, you could start something right now without even dealing with school. Starting the process. getting yourself up on social media. I know there's a lot of temptation to just lean into something that you can make a lot of money right out the gate. Lean into something very, very, very the norm or average, but you're just not that type of girl. Okay? If you was that type of girl, then you would be happy where you're at, but you're not. Okay? You're a show up, show out, and you got to admit that you are someone who likes to show off. Admit that. You like to try to hunker down and hide the fact that you're a show up, show out type girl, but like, why hide that when you could express it and show other people how to express? There's nothing wrong with feeling yourself. Instead of overthinking the future and jumping into like, I should go back to school, I should do this, I should do that. First, figure out what you want to pinpoint on. Like, what is something that you would want to work on as being, maybe it starts out as a side job, or maybe you want to go full time. But like, there's this whole entire process in your head that you overthink and overstep, and then when it comes to like the boiling point, you just break down and you don't try nothing. You end up trying none of the ideas that you had. You just break down. You lose focus, you break down. You lose focus, you break down. And it's just over and over and over and over again. It's a cycle. Like, it's about what you think you deserve. And it's like, in this situation, you deserve like everything. Like, you got to look at it as like, okay, I deserve equal amounts of what everybody else has. I can get out there and I can enjoy myself. I'm allowed to do that within work. I don't have to force myself to do something just for the financial aspect. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Don't bend for nobody else's wishes or dreams or anything like that. Now that you have like a little tiny money to work with, like you can, little tiny money. Now that you have money to work with, even if it's a little bit, you can invest in yourself. That's what you've been looking for. It's something to invest into other than romance and other than all the trivial shit that people keep worrying about today. You want to build some sort of a legacy. That is just the type of person you are. Your love language is creativity. Dive back into that. I'm going to draw some the oracles for you. Yeah, because now you have to hide in your current workplace. Like, hide you want this type of bitch that's crazy and out there type shit. You are that type of, like, you are creative. Yeah, because they be calling you crazy. Let's see. Even if something starts out as a hobby. Yeah, they said release the Kraken. Release the Kraken. They always say I have crazy ideas that are actually good. Because they being honest, they being real with you then. And support like that is exactly what you need. Like, if your family has always said, you should have gone to ours. I mean, what you do is amazing. It's just the confidence piece that you kind of struggle with. But like taking a leap of faith or taking risks, even though you'd be looking at everybody else's shit, and you're like, well, everybody else's shit is so elevated, so crazy. Like, I don't think I could get in that state of mind. You already in that state of mind. You just can't keep doubting yourself and telling yourself that you're not good enough. Like, you have a really good foundation for someone who could be very dominant within a workspace, someone who could be very, very, very like self-owned, self-taught, self-entrepreneur. I built all this shit myself. You have that inside of you. It's that you don't even, you just kind of give up on it. You collapse. They do talk about you a little bit back in the day, and how you might have had like maybe a little bit of more, like, I guess, confident. You can say it's like false confidence, where you would throw yourself into situations that would be like risk taking situations, and yet you would follow through with them anyways. It's like go everywhere the wind blows type shit. So finding that risk factor again is going to be big for you. Let me read you these oracle cards real quick. Where the fuck did I set the book? Where did I set it? Bro, I must be... Oh, there it is. My mom said, oh, when I was younger, I had more confidence as a kid. And like depression and all that, like that's something real that plays into a lot of this thinking. So I don't know if you see anyone or talk to anyone as far as, you know, therapy goes, but depression is really big. You know, that's like one of the main things that I'm picking up on is like up and downs, like roller coaster emotions, where you can't like pick and choose how you feel type shit. You go with the flow. And because you go with the flow, you just never ever question anything, which is dangerous. Alright. Your first oracle card is release. When the time comes when you cannot grieve anymore, it is time to let go. Release is the next step. This card may come to you when you need help moving forward or accepting an ending. It is time to move on, rise up, and release yourself from the past. Release represents the transition between letting go and moving on. It is the moment where we can become aware that we can no longer hold on to the past or an event that cannot be altered. You may need to consider if your situation is blocked or impacted by something that needs to be released. Your next card is freedom. Freedom. Freedom brings the message that you do not need to stay where you are, and you can change your position. You can rise up and see the world from a different point of view. You have wings, and all you need is the desire and self-confidence to fly. Freedom brings movement, flexibility, and the ability to expand your horizons. Whether it is freedom to travel, freedom to make the decisions at work, or freedom to splurge on your favorite meal, when this card appears, you may need to ask yourself some questions. In which areas of your life would you like to expand your freedom? What is your definition of freedom? Going through with wanting to leave my job, also my boyfriend passing. Now, with this process of him passing, I understand that, you know, you're right now in the position of mourning, right? If you need to take that break from work, then that's what you need. That's what you need then. Okay? Like now you need to focus on this higher aspect of yourself, which is like, I need to take care, I need to baby myself type shit. Your next card is dominance. Like all creatures, crows establish a pecking order, and to do so, the stronger bird asserts its power. Dominance indicates that you may be feeling restricted by someone, or that a stressful situation is impacting your thoughts and decisions. Someone or something may be flexing their muscle, which will cause friction within, as you may not be able to fight or defend yourself. This card represents a boss who makes you work overtime, a partner who always picks the restaurant, or a friend who always has to win. It may also indicate that you need to be in control. On a positive note, dominance may indicate your power over something and your ability to control a situation. And your next card is exposed. Yeah, and then I also accidentally turned to the page of grief, so I'm going to read grief first. I don't have that card laid out, but I'll read it to you. Crows make time to grieve. They have funerals and gather solemnly around their fallen friends in silence. It is essential to allow yourself the time to feel sadness for loss, honor the memory, and express your emotions. Healing begins the moment you confront the source of your pain. Grief may also appear if you have suppressed emotions around a loss for growth to take place. You must address an ending, which allows for closure. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. This is a ritual that is unique to you. Make time to mourn. Allow the feelings to surface, because there are important lessons within the sorrow for living. All right, and exposed. Exposed. Alone and unprotected, the fledgling is vulnerable to attack. Exposed may indicate you are being thrust into the spotlight and potentially not in a good way, depending on the circumstances. As a result, you may be feeling helpless and fear possible criticism. Exposed may also point to an open and free opportunity for the taking, as there will not be much in the way of your opposition. Exposed speaks to the feelings that surface as a result of you feeling vulnerable. Are you comfortable with putting yourself out there? Is facing criticism cause you to freeze up? What opportunities have you possibly missed because of the fear of being seen? Exposed may also present itself as a call to examine your situation more carefully as you piece valuable information to make the situation clearer. Something or someone may expose their flaws or weaknesses, and this may prove to be beneficial information for the future. So, I mean, obviously, like I said, you're in the aspect of mourning. And because you're someone who goes through this process of like, I'm just going to go along with what everybody else wants me to do. I'm just going to, fake it till I make it type shit. That's catching up with you, especially through this aspect of loss. If you need a break from work, take that break. Nobody's going to be looking down on you, looking at you, criticizing you, and like beating you up for that aspect. Okay, you're human. You are only human, and you are only capable of doing human things at your own pace. Okay, so I think that needs to be dealt with before you start making bigger moves into the creative aspect, because right now you can't have all of this stress on one side and then on the other side be trying to make your own business, trying to create shit, whether it's photos, whether it's drawing, whether it's going back to art school. All these processes need to actually be sat down and thought about when your mind isn't spinning. Okay, when your mind isn't everywhere but where it needs to be. Do not feel bad for taking a fucking break. Like I said, if your family is more supportive of your growth and creativity, I think they can understand. And even then, if they can't understand you sitting down and grieving, you still need it, regardless. You need space. You need time. You're not going to be able to concentrate otherwise. Shit is cold. Yeah, they do talk about you feeling a little bit more claustrophobic. You just need space away from people. But like I said, depression is big with you. So if you need someone to talk to, okay, or something that can maybe just take your mind and ease the pain of certain aspects, make it creative, okay? Get back into old habits. Make it take a new spin on it. Like the things that you love and that you love. Practice those things instead of worrying about huge opportunities in the future and jumping into school and jumping into this and that. There's not a free list. You need to look at the description. I pick and I choose my battles. Just had someone come back to me with a review and they're having a baby boy just like I said they would. so worried because I have never done a gender prediction before. That's cool as fuck. Ooh, you get back into tarot? Getting back into tarot. Reading is fundamental, no pun intended. Thanks, Mango. I'm trying to think of what signs I want to do. Fulfillment. Gotta start posting videos again. Hopefully I'll establish a piece of my sanity through that. I think it will. I think because it is something that you choose to do, not something that you feel like you have to do. I think it will. Your daughter's artwork is being displayed at college today. Oh shit! You gonna go see her art display? You gonna see it? And a good confidence booster, definitely. Sid just finished making breakfast to start the day. Pancakes, sausage, eggs, air fried apples. Damn! I need me some of that. I'm gonna start cooking after this. Yeah, cooking is a chill spot. I've been craving sweet stuff. Like that just made me think of apple crisp. You rude for that. What's apple crisp? It's basically a bunch of sugar and apples. Yeah, it's like apple pie filling. Usually has oats, cinnamon, nutmeg, brown sugar, whipped cream, or you can put it on over anything. It's so fucking good, and it's easy as fuck to make. Damn, we want some. See, now you're making all of us fucking hungry. Yep, vanilla ice cream. I like maple ice cream with mine. You talk to a Taurus. Yeah, because I got too much of that shit up in my chart. Because now when y'all start talking about food, I'll be like, oh, shit. Fuck. You see how food gets me like dancing and shit when I'll be thinking about the apple crisp? No. I can't with y'all. That's who I have to read for is Taurus. You dance when you eat. I'm not like a vocal eater or anything like that, but I get a big fat fucking smile on my face and I start going, I'll dance. Yeah, I also like to talk about the food too, like I'm a fucking food enthusiast and shit. Gordon Ramsay. The food is trash, I get so sad. When the food is trash, I just don't eat it. I drop that shit. I'm like, food porn. I love that. I love cooking, but I also love when people give me commentary on my food because I'm like, where do I need to improve? I'm always like, I'm looking at them and I stare at them and I watch them and I'm like, come and try this. Make sure this is all right. Make sure this is to your taste. It better be to your motherfucking taste. Because if I like it, you better fucking like it. That type of shit. And when my shit is a miss, like when my food is a miss, I'm just like, I just scrape that shit all out the bowl. People are always like, oh, you waste so much food. Like, no, I liked it. I'm like, don't pretend you fucking liked it. I didn't like it. So you can't like it. I didn't fucking like this shit. I'm gonna scrape that shit the fuck out because I ain't fucking eating this shit. I'm not gonna let nobody eat this shit. I get nervous when the cook stands. Don't fucking pretend you like it, bitch. That's annoying as fuck. I'm like, bro, that ticked me off because I'm like, so you just gonna lie to me about my food? Then what else are you gonna be lying about? No, I'm a pretty good cook. I think I'm good in the kitchen. It's those Italian roots. Always having to cook for the family and shit. Shockingly, I like Italian food the least. Imagine the cook staring at you, sending the food back. I've done that in like pizza shops. I've done that in pizza shops where like the pizza will be swamped and they'll be like, oh, we gotta check the pizza. this situation that happened recently where there was like these fucking like prison inmates or something. I don't fucking know, but these motherfuckers look cracked the fuck out back in the kitchen. They made me some pizza for my birthday, and I was like, why is the shit dripping out? Like, why is the dough dripping onto my plate? Like, that's not supposed to happen. When you make a pizza, you're meant to make it so you're able to eat it and not like smush it up into a bowl. Like, you're not supposed to be able to fucking do that. It means it's not done. So I got sad. I got salty as fuck. And I took that shit right the fuck up and slapped that shit on the counter. I'm like, where's the refund at? Because y'all didn't make the fucking pizza. This shit wasn't even cooked. I'm more convinced that y'all just put this shit in the microwave and serve it to me. I wasn't rude to none of the waitresses or nothing. They were looking at me like, like it wasn't the first time that someone had came up and said the pizza is not fucking cooked. Like, this shit is gonna make my stomach. What's my favorite thing to make? Pizza is the easiest thing to make, but I think I like making sweets better. And a lot of people they don't fuck with baking. Baking to me though is like a lot of fun. Figuring the shit out, because like you can fuck something up so easy, and I've done that so many fucking times, but trial and error. I like baking. I've always made all of the cakes. I've always done all of like the designing and shit. That's what I'm afraid of. So usually I cook. That's why I usually cook at home, just because I cannot stand when someone fucks up my shit. Like when I specifically request something. Like, no, for some reason nobody around here could make red velvet cake, and that's my favorite type of cake. That's the only thing I'll eat on my own birthday. That's the only type of cake I fucking enjoy. I don't like chocolate cake and nothing. I like red velvet. I'm convinced that I make the best red velvet though. It's not hard. To some people it is. Just because they refuse. Like cooking, right? You don't have to look at anything. You just taste your shit and then that's it, right? With baking, you actually have to follow some sorts of recipe. And I know the secret ingredient to making a good red velvet cake. First cake I learned to make. The first cake I learned to make was a chocolate mousse cake with like the little flower things or whatever, the little piping flowers or whatever. And the first one I made was alright, but I just don't like that much fucking chocolate. Like that's too sweet for me, even though I love sweets. I get easily overwhelmed where I'll be like, I'll take a bite and I have to take a break. Where I'm like damn, I'm like, that's a good cake, but that shit be killing me. You gotta put something tart or something, like put a little dark chocolate on top of this shit, because that shit be, woo, that take me for a party. Like I get hyper off this shit, to be honest with you. I like chocolate lava cake even. That shit to me is repulsive. But if it's like thin, you don't do too much frosting, oh my god, I can enjoy that. Cheesecake Factory, cheesecake must kill you. I've had Cheesecake Factory several times. To me, it's like they have too much on their fucking menu. They have too much on their menu. So when they try to make you something, you know that it's done with all the same ingredients as everything else, so it's going to taste the same either way. It's just too sweet. Tiramisu is good. Tiramisu is good. Something light. But I love strawberry shortcake. I love things with fruit. I don't like fruit cake though. Like I don't like fruit cakes. Like those ones, the horrible ass nasty shit they serve at Christmas. Hate fruit cake. But I like cakes with fruit on them. You want me to look at Discord? Wait, what you want me to look at? You said look at... I'm on Discord. What you want me to look at? People have a really hard time with making the cream cheese frosting, but that's my favorite part. Taking a spoonful of cream cheese frosting. So but now I can cook. I can cook. Oh, check the other one. Hold on. Oh. Of course. Of course he had another one. You should do back in with culture to be actually hella tight. I've thought about it before. I thought about doing cooking. This wouldn't be the first time someone has said that to me. Just cooking like Italian cuisine and cakes and shit. That wouldn't be the first time. I don't do the whole like I just make that shit like it tastes good. I don't do the whole like put some fucking jelly beans and jams on there and shit. I'm like, let's not make this too complicated. Let's do something basic. This guy at the gas station asked me out, and I said, "Okay, let's go to a restaurant." He came out of his mouth. So you're just trying to get into my pockets. He tried to see if he was cooking. He said, "Let's go to a restaurant. Let's go out for Chinese." Yeah, he is just trying to get in your pockets. I don't care about aesthetic. It needs to taste fucking good. Like I need to be able to put that shit in my mouth and be like, "Ew." That shit needs to take me back to my fucking childhood and shit. Like I better be eating something good. I don't care about the aesthetic. I don't want to take it with taking pictures of the food and shit like that. I'm like, I'll take a picture of my shit. I always do that. I'd be taking pictures of my cakes and shit. But honestly, I don't care. I just want to taste it, bro. I want that shit to be good. It obviously can't look like shit. Like I'm not gonna eat something that looks like sewage. But goddamn, you said I kind of thought he don't exist anymore, and I saw him over. No, no, of course he does. He bounced back on 20 channels. He's gonna keep doing that. Even with I was reading for him. He bounced back on like 24 different channels, talking to other readers, trying to control their shit. I'm just not a big fan of pork. I don't like pork. It's too salty. Who don't even worry about it. It ain't something we gotta worry about. It's just somebody who used to frequent my channel who ended up causing problems. I used to do Discord and stuff. So I used to Skype in Discord where I would have people come on and they would ask me questions there and I read for them, be able to talk with them back and forth. Obviously that didn't work out. Just because people is annoying. Stubby's overlaying on my bed. Yeah, the Discord days. It was fun, but the problem was that people couldn't just stop running their fucking mouths for 5 seconds and wanted to control where shit was going. That stopped when I stopped coming. That's exactly what I mean. It's like, you know, it's for a certain crowd, right? People who like attention will get on, and then it would just start random shit. Like they just start random drama, do random shit. Like they couldn't hold themselves down for 5 seconds. They wasn't like adults. It was like dealing with a box of children. And so when I would try to, like, you know, do readings and shit, it'd get distracting. That's in the past. We don't live there anymore. What I want to do is for members, I want to be able to do Discord. I don't want to do the shit on just normal live because I found that it's just a lot easier to fucking control if we got like a smaller group of people who can respect the grind, respect the shit. You realize how there are certain peoples that don't show. Those of you who have been with me for a longer time, there's certain people that don't show up no more because I don't do Discord no more. Because the only thing they got on for was attention. You can mute people on Zoom. Yeah, but if you're using Zoom for a business, there's a max amount of people that you can have in there. And because there's a max, you have to end up having everyone pay a membership. And I just wasn't into that. I wanted to do something that was free, that everyone can enjoy. So I went to Discord and used Discord. Discord is fine because you can still mute people in that. But at the same time, we just kept getting repetitive types of people. I thought Zoom was free. No, not after a certain point. It's not. And we used Zoom before. We used Zoom and we used Skype. Skype lasted a little bit, but then people started showing their dick on stream. People started pulling down their pants on stream. And then there was also a situation on Skype where there was a female who was drunk or something like that. So she was on something, and she like, my mouth just dropped. There was a female we had on Skype, and she ended up pulling down her pants or something like that. And she was this real big gal. And she started some shit and started talking like all this, like I'm gonna jump off a bridge, I'm gonna kill myself type shit. Yeah, there's an hour limit and then it boots everyone out after that limit. That shit, it was funny. Don't get me wrong, it was funny. But at the same time, I'm not looking for that drama. That's just gonna get me removed off of fucking YouTube. We have different rules now that we have to follow. No, that was Skype. That was Skype. I have it recorded somewhere. Like, I have the recording. She should have been on OnlyFans. I don't think she was trying to show all that. She was just drunk out her mind. She was just, like, out of her mind type shit. Insanity. And she kept begging for a reading shit. And then she thought that she had turned off her camera. She unmuted herself, thought she turned off her camera, but she didn't. So she was watching me. And then she was sitting on the fucking toilet. She pulled down her pants and was, like, sitting on the toilet. And, like, everyone was like, yo, like, what is going on right now? And that type of shit will get me thrown off this bitch. I have, like I said, I have the recording somewhere of this bitch doing that shit. She was out. I think she was, like, popping mollies or something. Like, because she seemed like she needed to take some medication. It was some wild shit. But the more, I think, just if I keep it behind a paywall, we'll keep them types of people out of here. That poor girl did. Well, she did this whole like episode where she was like gonna throw herself off a cliff and shit. And I was like, I'll delete the fucking stream. Like I'll delete the shit. Obviously, I have to. I like doing the Ouija board, but it scares certain types of folks away. This channel has come a long way. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. And when we had other people who were very, very energetic, and there's nothing wrong with being energetic. I enjoy talking to energetic folks. But when it's so energetic that you just can't stop, and you talking over everyone, like especially the people I'm reading for, that shit gets me pissed off. Yeah, some people very tentative about a Ouija board, but I use it the same way I use tarot. It's nothing to me. Tarot is the same tool. I'm sorry, but like for me, like it's just speaking to the same people that you would be speaking to when you're doing tarot. A lot of people don't think about it that way because it's been demonized and looked at a certain way, but yeah, you would always fall asleep on stream, Serby. I came to an understanding that they're the same. They are the same. I did Ouija board readings not that long ago. How do you even use the board? It's similar to the way that you use tarot. So I use these, right? I've written down awkward as fuck. I've written down always trying to start shit. I've written down things that usually would come through in a reading on my cards. I've just written down random shit and I channel through that. But using Ouija board, you kind of just have to use your intuition. That's it. You get certain letters, you get certain sayings. You kind of just let yourself be led by the board, just like you would let yourself be read by the cards. So they want all the attention, but then if you want all the attention, you can't be boring. Yeah. It was just back to back. Like, we would stay up real late. I mean, we would be on that bitch until, like, what? Like, 8 hours? We'd be on that bitch. But for me, there's really nothing to gain if we just talking. Like, listen, we ain't that close. We ain't that fucking close. I used to stream from like 12 to like 7 or 8 in the morning. I use tarot cards. I just be second guessing myself concerning certain topics. I wish I would have found you back then. We'll start up something like that. It's just as we're kind of getting a new audience in, I want to make people feel comfortable and heard in each individual, and then we'll do something else on maybe the member section, because I find that if I just shut it down using a paywall, that dumb types of people, the ones that are spiraling out of fucking control, are popping mollies and doing drugs and shit on stream. It was very entertaining. It was more like a TV show than anything. Honestly, it was like a TV show. You just started using tarot. So those of you that have just started or kind of doubt yourself, where do you feel that you're at? Are you using the book? Are you, do you think you could interpret the cards? You said just let me know. I got my coins and I only smoke. Okay. Like I said, it's rare to have a one-on-one with a reader where you can actually see the person's face that you're reading for, and it also gives more like character to the reading, because then I start to understand what type of people y'all are. It's more, I guess, it is more personal. I would say it's more personal than anything. Yeah, but that type of shit too. So you pretty ladies out there, and my audience is beautiful. My pretty ladies, right? Y'all would also get harassed on there because certain types of dudes come in and they start, drinking and shit on stream and start getting wild, being wild. But that's why I would set up moderators. But it seemed like back in the day, the moderators didn't really pay attention to none of that. So I ended up scrapping all the moderators and doing new moderators. And we would try to utilize what we had with booting people out and all that. And usually that would work. Usually that would work. I just got a book to understand the cards better. Okay. I've been doing a little bit of both. If I read for someone else, it's pretty good. Okay. I try my best with, when I do tarot, in this, I've done it for a couple of years now, so I've kind of gotten a handle on the meanings. But my interpretation of each and every single card will always be different, depending on what type of reading we're doing and who we're looking at particularly. So when I look at the card, I'm usually looking at the depiction instead of looking at the title. A lot of people get fucked up over this right here, right? And I think the more that you just have like a good picture, a good like, you know, illustration on the card, the easier it is to do tarot. So, you know, some folks feel like I need to connect with a deck. And I feel that way as well, where it's like, if I don't connect with the illustrations or the pictures, I can't do the fucking read. Like, I can't read using that tarot deck. That new one you got me, though, is very beautiful. And like I said, I'm going to be using that more and more as I get comfortable with it. Honestly, I think I might start using it in the pre-recorded sessions. I still get blocked on questions I care about for my life. Most of my intuition will always tell me the answer, but I always want a reading to do a double check. I use my intuition, but I'll use the book sometimes. I think I'll pull too much on one topic and I'll just leave my cards alone until I'm out of the doubt. I'm gonna try it with the depictions. Yeah, just you like go with the flow. When you see certain cards, right? Like Three of Knives, you can look at that. This is the Hoodoo Tarot deck, by the way. My favorite deck for sure. If you use these, the depictions, like this is a symbol of defeat, right? Someone's defeated. Can also represent like shadow self and shit like that. You can see a white soul and a black soul. Just roll with the punches. Black Hermit. Discipline. Dominance. Or I'll get two different answers and I feel like it's because I'm ignoring the first. No. There's more than one answer for sure. No, you're right. You're totally correct on that. There is for sure more than one answer on different topics. For sure. It's just choosing the one that like can lead you down the right path, I guess, if that makes sense. Night, Serby. Good night. And I'll respond to your Discord a little bit later. Wish I could show you my cards. My favorite is the star. It looks like she's literally handing you a gift. I was going to do a tarot class on my members, right? But what I found was that I want to do it when I have a certain amount of people on there. So I feel like, you know, I'm not just pumping shit out that people are not going to use. But more or less, I love people that are just starting tarot or want to kind of season themselves with tarot. If they join the members and I could teach them there, just separate some of the content a little bit. Get people hype about starting their own maybe tarot journey, whether you're doing it for yourself or trying to do it for a community. But I find that many of the people that have been intuitive usually do start tarot after, you know, giving a little bit of a push. Because I know how hard it is to just want to reach out to that type of shit. It's just scary. It's just scary. I would join that. Okay. Like I said, I would be willing to explain every single card and go down the whole route of like, you know, meanings in different types of situations. I just want like enough energy, enough people that want me to do that to actually have that experience, be up in there. For example, I could ask if I'm pregnant, then I'll get a yes, then a no. And the way you refined that is by considering uprights and reversals. Uprights and reversals. The way I do yes or no can vary. Either, like, I used to use the pendulum a lot. Then I just kind of got annoyed with fucking untying it. I'll show y'all my pendulum. I got real fucking annoyed with untying this shit. Because I just use a necklace. But even the normal pendulums get all fucking mixed up. I used to use a pendulum. And then I also used to have a dice. But then I just started using the cards because it was a lot easier. And usually so a yes or a no question, I pick it up. And if it's a upright, then it's a yes. And if I'm second guessing myself, I pick up more cards. How you join? There should be a join thing right underneath my. I think I don't know what it looks like for y'all, but I think it's right underneath this video. Yeah, in the description. And I think it also probably says join next to my channel name. But the more people I get in there, the better. I'm looking for like a little bit of a group experience so y'all can learn together. And I will also do lives when once we get to a certain amount of memberships. I'll start doing lives over there. And then it'll separate y'all so that we can actually focus on that one thing versus, everybody else asking questions up in the shit and being confused at where we're at. But yeah, no, we've had some successful readers off of here who do readings. Serby is one of them. Then we also have Isabella, who's also one of my moderators who's very good at tarot. She does Twitter tarot. And obviously there's different locations for different folks. Some people just like they don't want to attach themselves to a fucking video at this point. They just want to do words or predictions using cards on another social media platform. YouTube, I'm gonna say this, YouTube isn't for everyone. And women do get a lot of shit on YouTube. A lot of like sexualization in that. But there is ways around that, like just showing your hands and like just starting out with readings where you could just show the cards. I canceled my subscription to iSpy and Amazon last night, but I kept myself for here because this is so necessary for me. Thank you, and I appreciate it. And hopefully, in the future, you can be subscribed to all the motherfucking things. You can get your money going. I just got a puppy in the script, so I wouldn't even fucking worry about that. I got a cat who will come over here and start knocking all this shit over. And all you'll hear is me yelling at her to get back over and lay the fuck down. She's sleeping right now, but like I said, she'll just come through and take all the attention and just start knocking shit over. Usually I sometimes take that as a sign where I'm like, alright, maybe I should take a little bit of a break. Put him on punishment. Stubby loves doing that. Yeah, interrupting my readings. I think what happens is that she can hear me talking and shit like that, and once we start getting into more like, I guess, emotional reads, or like, so for me, sometimes when my mood be switching, because I'm moody, I do have some problems up here, she'll come over and be like, and just start fucking sprawling out and be like, maybe you should take a break. That, or she'd be looking for food. And when she be looking for food, she knows exactly how to piss me off. You got a puppy named Max. You should put catnip on the wish list. You know what? With catnip, certain types, some make her tired and other ones will make her batshit crazy. You said he's a Cap. Stubby's a Taurus. An awesome job in April. I'm going to be helping out with this festival here. I never heard about it till my dad hooked me up with this shaman lady friend, but I'm so stoked. That sounds cool as fuck. Is it like, so it's a festival? And what's the festival about? Is it, psychics and that, or what is it about? Like indica and sativa, absolutely. Like some shit gets her on cloud nine where she's out like a light, she's sleeping. And other shit, she's just knocking everything over, destroying everything. She does this thing that drives me fucking insane where she'll go outside for 5 minutes and then come up to my window. Like, y'all hear it on stream all the time, where she'll go outside for 5 seconds, right? She'll know she won't want to be out there. Jump down and then jump back up 20 fucking times, going in and out of the fucking building. And I guess that's a little bit of my fault, because I did allow her to go outside and be an indoor. Because we don't live in an area that's too risky for her. And she fixed, so. He said, that's a good question. I should look into that. Yeah, what type of fucking festival is this? That sounds cool as shit. Like, are you going to be working with a site and shit? What? Or a shaman? That sounds cool. Make yourself a little money. It sounds like there's going to be drinks involved. Max is mad. He's barking right now. See? I think animals have the greatest fucking timing, for real. Always gotta be up to something. Their personalities are crazy. I had to put him in the garage so I could sleep at night. He'll scream. Do you let him sleep in the bed with you and shit? Because sometimes they get overly attached to that, and it'll be like, let me in the fucking room, bust in there, stuff like that. For real. Stubby knows how to open doors. And so she'll claw under the door until I open it if I lock it. And all I hear is her fucking... So I have to have extra fan on, extra heating on, just to block out that sound. Want him to know personal space. That's what I mean. Independence. You said, okay, podcast mode. That's also something that people been asking me about, is podcasting and shit. Having my own show and shit. I know where I think I know where I would go with it. But also I want a little bit more growth on the tarot aspect first. So that I can do a good transition with people coming over, bouncing back and forth. I think I want to do something where we have people come in and ask questions, maybe not specifically related to tarot, but whether it be relationship advice or situation advice. Similar to if y'all know the gecko dude who dresses up like a gecko and he gets calls in. I think that's fire. He said, I'll pop him anyway because he don't take you seriously. He don't take you seriously. He think it's a game. That's Capricorn though for you. Thank you for the super chat, Alicia. And he won't understand none of that until he mad old. Like I said, Capricorn. Young Cap.
I feel like now that I'm talking about Stubby, she gonna be like, why you talking shit? Because I see her little twitch over there. He'll learn, and then just to piss you off in the moments where you feel like stressed, just to piss you off and make you feel even more stressed, he'll start doing the shit he used to do. Love your style work. I appreciate it, Alicia. My friend was like, Lauren, put him in the garage, please. Puppies are so bad. I couldn't take a puppy. My last dog I had was also named Max, and he was a German Shepherd, Retriever, or no, Gold. Okay, he was a Shepherd, Golden Retriever, and Golden Lab mix. And he was fucking huge. And then before that, I had a pit bull. I loved him. I love both of them, but for different reasons. They just had such different personalities. Fats, my pit bull, was such a bastard. And he did not like anyone other than me. He wouldn't like necessarily attack nobody because he was old. But Max was just a punk ass. And I loved it. You know how people have like tendencies to lean towards certain types of dogs or whatever, where they're like, oh, I want a big dog. I want a big dog to be protective. Max was a huge fucking dog, but the nigga did not know how to protect nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. He was scared as shit. He was shy as shit. Always afraid of everything, and then he'd be barking at something to go hide behind me. Like, nigga, aren't you supposed to be aren't you a German Shepherd, nigga? Like, aren't you supposed to be a protective ass dog? No, he'd hide behind me. You're like, nigga, come on now. Come on. So this shit, but like, bro, you can kill us. That's what I mean. I'm like, bro, you're big as fuck. Do you really still think you're a fucking puppy dog, bro? He like trying to sit in your lap and shit. Like I said, big ass fucking dog trying to sit in your damn lap. I'll be like, bro, see, I spoil too much with my animals. Then I have kittens now too. Yeah, like Hagrid's dog in Harry Potter. Pussy ass dog, bro. And he'll feel all threatened and shit. Start going, "Roo," like doing like little puppy dog shit. I'm like, bro, aren't you supposed to protect me though? How is Stubby got more balls than you though? Like, Stubby will fight somebody for real. She's usually like pretty sweet, but if she gets bad vibes about somebody, she'll fight them. She'll bite them. Little dogs little dogs though, they will bite and they will fuss. They will literally throw ass. I even consider getting like a little dog, like a Maltese or something. But then I'm like, bro, I know they're gonna get petty over the cats too, because little dogs, you know how they be. Like chihuahuas and shit. Like my best friend had a chihuahua for a while. That little fucker. Always biting and pissing on shit. Only liked her fucking owner. I had a boxer, the same thing. Tuxedo, looked mean, but timid as fuck. Literally, dogs get excited over everything. Dogs get excited over anything. I used to call it the red rocket, where I'd be like, yo, you need to fucking chill out. When they get fixed and everything, they still the same way. You're like, you need to chill the fuck out, nigga. Little dogs get possessive over their person. Yeah, they do. You said it's nasty. You're like, sit the fuck down. No, I used to call it raver. I gotta be like, chill the fuck out, nigga. Yeah, no, because with their tendencies and shit, like, I taught my Max how to like just chill out and sit when people come, but then like women specifically, when I would bring women around, he just could not handle himself. He'd switch up real quick. Be like, oh, the niggas come over as my friends would be like, okay, you know, chill, whatever. Bring a female over, he go fucking insane. He go insane. He'll start like jumping on them. I'll be like, you're fixed. Why can't you handle your damn self? Stubby a different breed. Stubby, I mean, she a cat, but she act more like a dog sometimes. And she be like very, very, very temperamental with who she allows around her. And she be like, if it is somebody who's like sweeter and like waits on her type shit, she'll enjoy that. But if it's someone who like comes up to her and pets her, she'll be like, bitch, I'll bite you. For real, I'll bite you. Don't play with me. He said he's got his body all spread out. He said he get it from his daddy. Man, Stubby gets her moodiness from me for sure. For sure. She just does, for some reason, like, she picked up on all my mood swings. So now she act just like me. She's that Tauran in her. She needs to be spoiled. She needs to be treated different than all her other friends. Otherwise, she start acting up. Yeah, Stubby like dudes more than she like female. And every time, for some reason, also every time I get in a relationship, this big Stubby will be like super clingy, super obsessive, super clingy. So I'll start like waking up and Stubby will be on my chest with her ass in my face. Like, bro, leave me the fuck alone for 5 seconds. She try to make people jealous and shit. That shit's embarrassing. The shit that's embarrassing is when people start getting jealous over the fact that you got a pet that like you. Like, weird shit. I had a female that had a problem with the fact that my cat like actually fucks with me, actually likes me. And she'd be always like laid up beside me or wants to lay in the bed. She'd be like, get the man out of the bed. Like, shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. No, people get jealous over that type of shit. Attachment issues. They just can't stand that there's another thing that loves you out there type shit. If I try to say hi to my cat's stray friend, he gets mad at his friend. No, people really do that. When I had a dog, it was the same. Females be really doing that. I'm like, bro, that's my kid. They're like, you're weird. He said, wow, that's deep. Deep mental issues. I'm just scared he's not gonna like my boyfriend. Honestly, with dogs, as long as you like right out the gate, like there was this little Yorkie dog when I was with a girl, and he didn't like anybody, but he chose me type shit because I didn't put up with his bullshit. He would try to like nip and shit, and I just wouldn't even put up with it. I just walk right by him and be like, "Fuck you." And then when you start playing with them real rough, they love that too. So you just fucking grab a toy, they into it, they love it. They can't resist it. They are dog brains, so they just like, oh fuck, let me go after what you got. Jill, that's a pet animal, love it. It's pathetic. Hoping that he can make this boy act right. He probably could. Like I said, if you just play with them, they start listening to you real quick. And he might even start liking your boyfriend more than he like you. But that's a good thing. I'm hungry, y'all, so I think it's time for me to hop. I want to get on tonight. I think I will. I think I will post a couple of videos. I want to do Taurus. Taurus been calling to me lately. Of course, you know, filming Taurus's videos sometimes, y'all, the attitude comes out, the anger comes out. Y'all get me in my emotions and shit. So I think I'm gonna pop off, and then I'll do some filming later, and then if I can go live later, it'll be probably between like 3 a.m. 5 a.m. that area. Y'all can catch me then. You should do members, cause like I should if we getting some new members up in the bitch, I might as well. Katie, you said new channel, interesting conversations. Yo. Let's get our day started trying to get my life together. Yup. Let's get our fucking lives together for real. Pop through, y'all, if you can later. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you everyone who did super chat, cash apps, all that. Thank you guys for watching, sticking around with me for a couple of hours. More members content coming, and I do actually want to follow through on that tarot teaching shit. So if you want to join the members, join now so that y'all can catch me for that. And I'll start teaching y'all the cards and how things work and all that. Those emojis. Thinking of a master plan for real. Alright, y'all. I'll see you.